And we are live. How y'all doing today, Cash Sports family? I am happy to be here, of course, on the Cash Sports podcast, ready to talk what's going on in the sports world. Y'all already know what it is, man. It is always going down, man. Every day there's always something new. Every day there's always something going down. And guess what? I'm here, you're here to talk about it. Feel me? That's how we do it. So before I even get into it, let me drop that comment. Let me drop that link in the comment section. So if anybody wants to join, you can tap in whenever they want to, right? So we're going to tap into that whenever y'all can. Of course, y'all can drop any comments under the video and I'll reply. Later on, though, at least when it refers to comments, right? I'm gonna try to have like a little section where I'm gonna try to read off the comments and talk, because I don't want to try to have to do something and then avert from the topic if I'm like already really into it. You get what I'm saying? So I hope you guys can understand that. But I will try to read comments as much as possible, because hey, I'm just starting out. I want to try to engage with you guys as much as possible. So let's get into it, man. Today we're gonna be talking about NBA. I know I've been talking about football for a little bit, but I had to tap in back into the NBA, man, because you already know, just because it's off season doesn't mean things don't go down. It happens every day. There's always something to be happening. That Kevin Durant situation is still going down in Brooklyn. Feel me? Lakers is trying to make some moves, trying to win a championship again this year. And then, there's always some team out and about trying to make some moves and trying to do some things, right? But the biggest headline I want to get into, right, is LeBron James signing his contract extension with the Los Angeles Lakers, right? He signed a 2-year contract extension for $97 million. That is big bucks right there. Even for LeBron, right? He's a billionaire. He really doesn't need the money, right? But, he came out a while ago stating that he was not going to take anything less than the max. And why should he? He's LeBron James, right? So you give him the money that he's asking for, and you're going to get that money back in return, right? So for $97 million, I can tell y'all. And then he has a player option in 2024 to 2025, right? So that means by that time, he would be able to opt in or opt out of his contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. And we already know about LeBron's motive, right, to want to play with his son, Bronny. So I'm guessing with the Lakers giving him that player option in the 2024 to 2025 season is to give him either that opportunity to play with his son, Bronny, eventually in the future. But that is like way later down the line. We might not know when Bronny might actually come to the league. I just know that he's headed near the end of his career, his high school career, right? And so that means he's going to be making a decision to be playing at the collegiate level here pretty soon. So with that being said, it might take some time for Bronny to even get to the league, because you can go play college, but you got to be one of those 1 in a million players. 1 in a million to be able to be a one and done. And now, do I think LeBron James Jr. is a one and done player? That I'm not going to answer yet, because we have to see it for ourselves. LeBron James or Bronny James, he's going in, but a lot of heat. He has a lot on his plate. The man's name is LeBron James Jr. That's a lot of heat to bring with you, man. So what does this mean for the Lakers? What does this mean for LeBron and the Lakers, for LeBron to sign this contract extension with this organization? Because you already know what it is, man. The Lakers are trying to compete. They are trying to go out there and win as many championships as possible. When you are the Lakers, you go out and try to compete every single year. That might not be the case. That might not happen all the time, right? The Lakers had some bad years ever since Kobe Bryant retired and the late great Jerry Buss passed away. the LA franchise hasn't been the same. I mean, there were a couple times, there were a couple years where the Lakers were looking like the Clippers now. Right? Everybody knows that. During those times in the last couple years for Kobe Bryant had some injuries right on his belt, and right, it's just that roster, the makeup, the roster, the people, the personnel around Kobe Bryant is just insufficient. It just wasn't getting it done, and so that's why they had one of the worst records in those couple years. Lakers were horrible, and now that has changed. It's been changed since 2019, since LeBron James has arrived to LA, right? So again, what does this mean for the Lakers? What does this mean for LeBron James? I already said it. They're trying to compete, right? Which means LeBron is giving the Lakers a lot more assurance on his end. I mean, we can completely understand if LeBron wanted to keep the leverage, maybe wait on signing that contract extension, possibly towards January or even the end of the NBA season. But that wasn't the case, right? So LeBron has signed it pretty early than we expected, right? So this is news. This is real news. This is real breaking news. It just dropped today. LeBron signed that contract extension proudly. He is all in on this season and possibly, right, for the next couple seasons also, right? So hopefully, if he were to opt in into his 2024 to 2025 contract year, then hey, we might have LeBron for the rest of his NBA career. So let's just talk about going into this season coming up, right? So LeBron signed his contract extension. We already know LeBron was going to come out playing this year. This year is the last year of his contract. So it's either he signed at the end of this year or he wasn't going to play. So this year he was already on contract, right? And then so we already know about the personnel, the roster decisions, what's going on with the Lakers. So obviously there's a lot of questions, a lot of hoopla with what they're going to do with Russell Westbrook. Anthony Davis, right, needs to have a very big offseason. Anthony Davis, he's had some really, he's been injury prone. Let's just call it what it is. He's been injury prone throughout his career. This up and coming season, we're going to expect some big things from Anthony Davis. I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen the combination between LeBron James and Anthony Davis ball. I mean, they won a championship together. They tied for the most championships with the Boston Celtics at 17. That tied the Celtics. That championship in 2020 tied the Celtics with the most championships in NBA history. So you guys can call it what it is, but if you got LeBron James on your team, you sign him to your team, that means you are always in competition. You are always in that conversation for a title contention with LeBron James. You already know, man. And so with this roster makeup, right, we got Darvin Ham as the new head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Anthony Davis is looking to come back. You got Rob Pelinka talking Anthony Davis up. He's his hype man right now. You got Rob Pelinka being Anthony Davis's hype man. He said it's the best offseason he had ever seen from Anthony Davis. And so I hope this year we start to see the Anthony Davis that we've been yearning for. That 30 and 10, man. We need that Anthony Davis 30 and 10. He needs to drop the ball. He needs to go hard. Because last year, man, there were some matchups between Anthony Davis and Giannis Antetokounmpo. It wasn't looking pretty. It was not looking pretty. But I mean, who can blame him though? Giannis is a fantastic player. I crown him as the best player in the world at this moment, right? And so for Anthony Davis to be even going up against somebody like that on any level, on a matchup level, it's going to get really complicated. That's honestly a matchup nightmare for Anthony Davis. But when you play in a league like the NBA, you got to prepare for the worst. You got to play against the best. You got to beat the best to be the best. Because you already know, man, that's the formula. You get what I'm saying? The Warriors were not going to be championships this year unless they went through the Boston Celtics, who are arguably the best Eastern Conference team last year. We can go about rankings. We can say, all right, this team is better than that team. This team should have won. This team got injured. At the end of the day, the Warriors were not going to win unless they had beaten the Boston Celtics, because they were the best team coming out of the East. And so the Lakers going into this year, they might not have the best roster. They might not have the best players, the best coach. They might not even be the best organization right now. But if they can play with the mindset, if they can go into this season, right, thinking that they're the best team, if they can play like the best team, if we can see even a glimmer of what we saw in 2020 with the combination of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, the pick and roll, then we might see the Los Angeles Lakers win their 18th championship this year. Right? So that's what that means, man. When you have LeBron James on your roster, it's championship or bust. Plain and simple. Get it through your heads, man. Get it through your heads, LeBron haters. When you got LeBron James on your team, you compete for a title. Stop hating. Just give it to him. Man's been working hard. He's old now. Feel me? LeBron's about to be on crutches soon. About to have a slump back. Give that man his credit, man. So with LeBron James, man, it just, you know, we're I know we're starting to see the, you know, near the end of his career. But just watching him play and to see the type of player he is and the way he's still able to contribute to this game, even today, man, honestly, Lakers might have paid two less. They should have threw him an extra 10 mil, just cause. So I'm gonna bring another member up in here. Y'all already know Rose Gold, the other Cash and CashSports, right? He's gonna give us his opinion on what this contract extension means for the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Let me tap in. Let's bring this buddy up in here.
Yep.
Boom.
What's going on? Can you hear me fine?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
outside.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know.
We can hear you. We can hear you just fine, bro.
Yes,
All
sir.
Right, so talk to him, man. Talk to him. Let me know, man. Let me know. So what? All right. So I just went on a whole spiel, right? We already I talked about the whole LeBron.
Yeah, I
James
just came in, so I just missed all that.
You feel me? So
give me a quick rundown.
I'm gonna just give you a quick rundown. So basically, I was just looking at where with LeBron James is championship or bust. You got LeBron James, you have to be able to compete. And that's we already know with the Lakers, that's the mindset that they're always on, and that's the mindset that they're going into. Obviously, there's a lot of questions with the roster, and even to an extent with Darvin Ham, right? But with or without Westbrook, they signed LeBron James. LeBron James has given the Lakers their assurance that he's going to be playing for this team for multiple years to come, up until 2024 to 2025 is the only year that he has a player option. We already came to that, right? We already talked about that.
That was gonna happen.
Yeah, for me, so which is good.
James deal.
No, of course, right? And he deserved it. Honestly, he deserved that right to be able to have a player option to potentially play with his son, Bronny James, right? So having this contract extension, this just means, right? It's not LeBron James, because LeBron James is going to show up. LeBron James is always going to show up, regardless of what people are going to say and say, you know, he's this, he's that. No, LeBron James shows up. He's there every single time. He ain't these players, man. He ain't these players that's going to take a couple games off. He's not, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be there. If LeBron James can be there, if he can play, he's going to play. And that's irreplaceable. That's irreplaceable. Right? Because LeBron James is the biggest box office superstar. He's the biggest player to ever play this game in recent history. Right? Up until before the 90s, since Kobe Bryant. Right? Yep. So it's not LeBron James, right, that we got to look at up until this point. Right now, LeBron James has cemented himself as playing not only this year, but at least for the following year after, and even after that. And that just goes to show Anthony Davis needs to come in. He needs to do his thing so we can start to see that same combination that we seen in 2020 between LeBron James and Anthony Davis, because that's all that matters. If those two can get it going, then hey, we might see the Lakers win 18 championships.
Absolutely.
There you go, man. So let me know, man, what you think.
All right, so 2 key points, right? From LeBron signing his contract today, right? One, let's just take a step back real quick. When LeBron assured everybody that he was going to contract, well, not really LeBron, well, Rich Paul assured that LeBron will stay. They, put out some stories about LeBron and Lakers are, having conversations, but it was trending in the right direction, right? So when LeBron made the point that he was, he wants to play with his son, he's going to play with his son. His last year of his career will be playing with his son. He said that. We know that's on record. That's stamped. And he said, at that point, it's not about the money, right? At that point. But right now, pay that man. You saying? So he signed the contract, very lucrative. It could go, I don't know if you know the details, but it goes upwards of 110. So he signed at 2 years, 97, but it could go upwards of 111 if the salary cap, rises exponentially, whatever. So another key point, right, is that LeBron, you don't find it funny that LeBron signed the contract today, right before the season schedule is released?
You know what's crazy though?
Or right before training camp? You know what I mean? Like, all this connects. Go ahead.
No, because what I was just about to ask, because I wanted to ask you this in the beginning, but I wanted to let you talk. Yeah. So I'm saying, why do you think LeBron James signed it today?
Oh, yeah. I follow the money, and I really listen. Like, I really look at the key things in these press conferences and these little stories that come out. I look at it like, all right, this story helps. This little thing that comes out, this little news. Who puts it out? Like, who puts these things out to help what team, to benefit what team, right? And then when this came out, right, after the schedule, everything's released, and then what I noticed when the schedule got released, there's no Brooklyn Nets like premier games, televised games. Did you notice that? Like Christmas games,
no,
you have.
I haven't. We actually going to talk about the schedule later.
I know, yeah. So we're going to touch base on that, but I just want to, just sprinkle a little bit of things that I noticed, right? Because I pay very close attention to the NBA. So the Nets have no Christmas games, no opening night games, no big header games, like, because you got Bucks versus Celtics, you got this versus this. You know what I'm saying? The Nets are nowhere in that. So what my take from that is that there are some discussions. Maybe us as fans, we don't really know the ins and outs of everything that's going on. But behind the scenes, the players, the owners, they know more than what we know. You know what I mean? Like the conversations and deals that get released in the public, that's one thing. The actual conversation they're having on the phone, they're not there for that. So I feel like LeBron signed.
Hello? You broke up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you broke up a little bit.
Wait, one moment. Let me just hurry up and finish moving so I can go back inside the house. Yeah, so basically, where was I? Yeah, so LeBron just basically had a conversation with the Lakers front office, and basically there is going to be a move to be made. So all these little details that are getting put out, like the schedule getting put out, and the Nets are not nowhere in there, and the fact that LeBron signed it now, just shows me more and more that they will trade Russell Westbrook. Maybe not to the Nets like I want, but things are going to happen. Things are going to get shaken up. And you're starting to see that more because now you're starting to notice Jazz and the Knicks are talking again. Yeah. Brooklyn Nets and the Nets are talking again. They haven't made any progress, but they're actually talking. Like the conversations are. So the move, like things are about to start heating up and the dominoes are going to start falling very soon. But LeBron got that contract basically now. I feel like there's discussions behind the scenes that, that made LeBron be like, all right, I'll sign this deal. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to address this comment though by my boy right here. So he said, "Dang, didn't even mention Westbrook."
Westbrook.
Huh?
I did mention Westbrook. I said Westbrook will be traded.
No, he was talking about me. He made that comment when I mentioned Anthony Davis and LeBron James. So I mean,
Westbrook
I know
is not going to be there. And we all know
he's not
Westbrook
gonna be there, bro. Yeah, real talk. Yeah, it's leaning towards he's not gonna be there. He's not gonna be there, bro. Like even like they're like going into this year, if the Lakers have any chance of winning the championship this year, they can't have Russell Westbrook on that team
at all.
It's sad to admit. It's very unfortunate for somebody like Westbrook who's been a great player,
Hall of Fame player,
MVP player. Yeah,
no
for
question.
me, first ballot Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame,
first ballot.
But he can't be on this team, man. He cannot be a third wheel. He can't be a third wheel on a LeBron James team, man. He can't. If you look at all the other teams that LeBron James has played with, look at the players who's been a third wheel, right? First go around when they won the championship on the Heat was Chris Bosh. He was rebounding. He was spot up shooting. Same situation with the Cavs.
With Kevin Love, yeah.
Rebound with Kevin Love. He was a better shooter than Chris Bosh.
3-and-D in a way, a 3-and-D.
Yeah, 3-and-D. Right, and then
3-and-D.
he was still decent enough rebounding too. Let's I'm not gonna shit there. Kevin Love wasn't.
Kevin Love was one of the greatest rebounders in Timberwolves.
Yeah, he was a double machine.
Like he was instantly one of the one of the greats when it came to like boxing out and rebounding and all that stuff. Like Kevin Love was no joke. That's why a lot of people forgot like who Kevin Love really was before the Cavs. But Kevin Love was a different animal. Like he had to adjust, just like Chris Bosh had to adjust. Now people forget. People forget.
No, people
because when the Lakers were interested in Kevin Love last year, people were like, oh hell no, but Kevin Love had a decent season last season. Nobody really pays attention to little things like that.
Yeah. No, you know why I say that is because only LeBron haters would only say Kevin Love. They'll try to like
diminish
up Kevin Love's career. No, not diminish. They'll give him more props than what it is. Because I tend to have a lot of conversation with some people and be like, oh, but he had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. I'm like, come on, bro. Those years that Kevin Love won those championships with LeBron James, he was
look. Jordan never won without a top player in this team. So let's stop it. With Kyrie and Kevin Love and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh stuff. Like Jordan played with Pippen, Rodman. He played with some hitters, bro. Like stop it.
Rodman
and
is
he played under
arguable.
Phil Jackson. He played under Phil Jackson. Everybody, like stop it.
And not to mention, and Rodman is a top 3 rebounder of all time, bro. Scottie Pippen is top 3 defender of all time. Like those are whatever you could say about that comparison with LeBron James.
I heard I'll be on this YouTube NBA streaming world. A lot of people were debating who had the better career or who's the better player overall. Like whose career are you taking? Are you taking Dennis Rodman's career or Draymond Green's? And I'm like, Dennis Rodman. Like people try to say Draymond Green was better than Dennis Rodman.
Nah, bro, absolutely.
And Pippen.
Absolutely not. Nah,
that's what I'm saying.
They tripping on that. They tripping on that.
This new generation is crazy, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the next generation that's coming up. Oh man, it's gonna be tough, bro. They're gonna need people like CashSports, bro, to to really tell them.
We got, you know what? We gonna be them old heads. We go like watch in a couple years or so. Kobe gonna be a distant memory, bro. That's the crazy thing about it.
Jordan
you gonna have some, some people. Yeah, some of these people.
Of a modern now since he passed away. They're gonna mention Kobe way more. You know what I'm saying? Like the game, like in the modern NBA. Like Jordan's gonna be the one to quickly fade. Because if you're really paying attention, like his sneakers are still big, but his sneakers are starting to dwindle a little bit. People are not going as crazy for the Jordans as they did before. The off-white collabs, those are flying off the shelves. The resale value is crazy, but Jordans, I could get me some Jordans any color, any style I want right now. It's not gonna be retail, but it's not gonna be too much above retail. You get what I'm saying?
It's not how it used to.
Not like how you sure. Easy now. I'll get.
Yeah, for sure. So back to this though, right? Because I know we was talking about Russell Westbrook for a little bit, right? So with
Fuck
the
Westbrook.
LeBron. Yeah. So with the LeBron extension, right? I mean, just with this whole thing. So do you think LeBron James is going to like? Do you think he's going to finish his career with the Lakers, or do you think it's just like it's stamped down that
It
he's
all
gonna,
depends on how bad the Lakers want to keep LeBron. Like in the tail end of his career. Because for the next 2 years, LeBron's gonna be still at an all-time high. He's still gonna be top 10 player currently. So after that point, it's on how bad they really want to keep him. Like LeBron's gonna always sell seats because he's gonna beat Kareem record in the Lakers jersey. So with him and the team, they're gonna always sell tickets and
only need 16 points to do it too.
And only need 16 points.
Yeah. He only no like 16 points per game. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So and then the season he had last year, if he's anywhere close to that, he's beating that by Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Or some crazy game like in a Garden or something. It's gonna be mapped out to the point where it's gonna either be at the Lakers, at the Garden, in Cleveland. It's gonna be some spectacular shit, bro. Trust me. So they're gonna make billions of dollars, not millions. They're gonna make billions of dollars off of LeBron James' name, like from now on to whenever. You know what I mean? So, do I think LeBron's gonna finish his career in the Lakers? I'll lean 70% yes. Well, I'll say 65%, and then I'll say 35% that he leaves, because I'm not sure. Like, because think about it like this. Teams are gonna be clamoring for LeBron James' son just to get LeBron. So it ain't gonna just be a walk in the park for the Lakers to be like, all right, he's undrafted, sign the kid just to keep LeBron. No, teams are gonna be like, all right, if we could get Bronny and it make the Lakers have to overpay for Bronny to keep LeBron, they're gonna do that, or they're gonna just keep Bronny to get LeBron. Like it works out in whatever team's favor, whoever lands Bronny. So it's pretty much. In 2024-2025 season, which is a couple years from now, whoever lands Bronny will have LeBron. So LeBron's going to be in the Lakers until that point, whether it's the Lakers or whoever. That's my answer.
No, that's a pretty good point. Let me bring this comment up.
That's the point. There's no other way around it.
No, I got you. He said, I think he will finish his career in Cleveland. Hell no. Bro. Honestly, I mean, there's only one chance. That 1% chance
is that Cleveland gets Bronny.
Cleveland gets Bronny. But then,
that's it, bro. That's it.
Hey, bro.
That's it. And then there might be a chance that there might be a chance that they could do that. So
there is a chance.
I would give Cleveland like out of that 35% that I gave Bron leaving, Cleveland gets 5% out of that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like for real, because they have a chance to get that for real.
Yeah, no, that's literally the only reason he would go back to Cleveland. Anything other than that, LeBron ain't doing no retirement trips in Cleveland. He ain't doing none of that. I'm gonna sign one.
He his job. He did what he came there for. He did what he got drafted there for. Like he got him that ring. They're one of those teams that have a ring. There's plenty of teams that have no championship rings. Cleveland have a championship ring because of Ramon James, and that's it. He's not going back. It makes no sense for him to do that. His business is in LA, so I don't even think LeBron wants to leave LA.
No, he's not.
I think
he got his whole production company here.
LeBron wants LA to get Bronny. That's why he's putting all these little tidbits out, so that way they can make sure they get him. Just like how they're gonna make sure they trade Westbrook, just like how they made sure they got Westbrook, just like how they made Anthony Davis. It goes on and on. They're gonna do, and Jeannie Buss. This is another thing that's stamped and quoted. You could Google it. I would never put anything in CashSports and quote it, and it'd be not a fact. Jeannie Buss says she will do anything she can do to keep LeBron James happy. She said that. It's on record. You can look it up. So that's the owner of the team stamping LeBron James, and that's all you need when it comes to making any type of decisions is permission from the ownership. Because they're the ones that have to make the final say-so on whatever decision that is made upon that team. She is the governor of the Lakers. She has majority stake in the Lakers. She will do whatever it takes to please LeBron. She said it out her mouth, and that's what I believe. Period.
Nah, I believe it though too. And I mean, they have no other, and the Lakers have no other reason but to sign LeBron James. I mean, at this moment, until they can find another star to replace LeBron James, even though we know he's not that player is not going to be anywhere near close. But right, the Lakers still have a lot of upside, even though Anthony
You have to
Davis
stay relevant.
is. Yeah,
That's all they need.
even though Anthony Davis is known for being injury prone, he still has a whole career ahead. He still has a career ahead of him, somewhat of a career ahead of him, right? So if Anthony Davis can come into this year, right, prepared, being the player that that they're talking him up to be this year, then he's gonna come in. He needs to show us what he could do, or what he's supposed to do and what he's done before. And then from here on out, I think the Lakers could still be competitive, but they have a better chance now with LeBron James and Anthony Davis than with Anthony Davis. But I'm pretty sure you already feel the same way about that. But let's look at this one right here too. Hot take: Bronny will be better than LeBron. Hell nah, bro.
Davis, I don't know
is not.
what he.
Yeah. That's
You
not
heard me?
bro. Huh?
That you heard me about healthy Anthony Davis.
What would you say?
I said we need a healthy Anthony Davis. It has to be a healthy Anthony Davis. Like, I don't know what he has to do, or I don't know what regimen he has to change, but he needs to get his shit together, bro. Like, we need at least, and it has to be at least 71 games. I'm sorry. Like, I want to give him 66, but for me to be like, all right, I respect Anthony Davis now, and like he truly made a change, it has to be at least 71 games. Yeah. At least for me.
At least,
for me,
like 65 to 70 games.
66 to 70, 71 games. Yeah, 65 to 70, just to give him a good, like, just to keep it, you know what I mean, like a nice little 5-piece window. Like 65 to 70 games, I'll give him, and then I'll be satisfied with his stint with the Lakers. Because I feel like LeBron's stint with the Lakers was a success. He brought them out of fucking purgatory, got him to an illustrious ring. He won it the year Kobe passed away, rest in peace. And then, his career was a success. Yeah. Period. At that point, Anthony Davis, that one ring Anthony Davis won in the Lakers is not like a big. Don't get me wrong, it elevated his career, but it went right back down the following year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it didn't stop there. He
went up 5 notches and then went down 3. So he did progress, but not much. You know what I'm saying? Is what I'm basically trying to say.
Yeah, no, I'm on this.
Because you sold as much of the same of like what we always thought about you. You're elite, you're top 5 potential, but maybe even number 1 potential, but you just can't and then last season he just showed even more like, all right, you're unhealthy and now you can't shoot now. Oh my God, it's just like
he was like 17% from 3. Jesus,
the worst
Christ,
shooter in the league. So like you took a big dip, bro, and that's not true. That's not Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
So me personally, I want to blame everything on Russell Westbrook. Like me, I want to blame Lakers everything on Russell Westbrook. Fuck COVID, fuck the injuries, fuck the chemistry issues. Everything was Russ. So get rid of Russ, and then everything will be fine in my eyes. Like that's just how I'm looking at it. You get rid of Russ, and it's a dark cloud. You know what I'm saying? Like so. You get rid of Russ, and we're gonna be, even if we have 1-2 injuries, we're gonna be fine. Even if we get a couple cases of COVID, we're gonna be fine. We're not gonna have chemistry issues. Like we have a new coach. I feel like everything's gonna be fine without Russell Westbrook, and that has to be now. I'm gonna panic.
Okay, so you think the Russell Westbrook trade you think should happen regardless of what you get in return, or you think you should try to hold out and really try to get Kyrie?
The only reason why I feel like you shouldn't try to hold out is because, like, think about it like this: we had no chemistry last year, so we need to figure out a way to get that chemistry back. And
hold out for Kyrie though, not just.
And the best way to do that is to have the best way to do that is to have a full team by training camp. You know what I'm saying? So by media day and everything, we have everything situated. We have our stars playing in the preseason, at least 1 or 2 games, instead of like that bullshit we did. Because, all right, from day one, we fucked up last season. We barely played our players in the preseason, our stars. They didn't really have any run together during the preseason at all because they thought everything was going to be fine. And then they started the season like shit water. So they just basically have to revamp, start everything different. Go into training camp, actually practice, actually get some cohesion. And then play some. I feel like LeBron has to play at least 2 or 3 games out of the 5 preseason games they have, instead of that 1 that he just played last season. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. No, for sure. So we hit the half an hour mark, right? So I want to let me get this out, right? So thank you all for tuning into the CashSports podcast, right? If y'all currently streaming right now, y'all currently watching what's going on in the CashSports, you already see, man, we getting it in. We talking basketball, we talking LeBron James, we talking about what's hot in the NBA, man. And so this next half an hour, we're gonna be talking about the NBA schedule and what's going down next year. We already got a sneak peek of these hottest matchups. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna see the best play against the best, and there's a lot to put out, man. There's some stuff going down. We got Rivals Week in the NBA. Hey man, stay tuned because we gonna tap in again. If you guys are tuning in, please like and subscribe to CashSports. I would humbly appreciate that. Help a brother out, man. If you do, hit that notification button so whenever we live stream, y'all can see whenever I come on, right? And then also, I know y'all tap it. Y'all see that Cash App at the bottom, man. It's obviously optional, but
that Cash App.
I mean, I would graciously appreciate, if you guys donate to the platform. You know what I mean?
Do it now.
And so before I go into the second hour, let me just read this last comment by my boy right here. So he said, viewer question. Let me ask a viewer question first, because he said viewer question. All right, so viewer question: would Bronny have a better rookie year than Trae Young was? No, I don't think so. I don't think so, because if we remember Trae Young's rookie year, right? He didn't have the greatest first half of the year, but that second half, I don't think people remember Trae Young's second half of the year.
Preseason either. He had a terrible preseason too.
Yeah, I remember. But that whole first half wasn't the Trae that we see now. But that rookie Trae Young in the second half of the season after that All-Star break, man, Trae Young was putting plus 20 points, double-digit assists. Trae Young was really eating that year. If he had played that way the entire year, as opposed to what Luka was doing, Trae Young could have damn well been that Rookie of the Year award could have been damn well a landslide. Even though Luka deserved it, because I think we can all agree Luka Doncic was Rookie of the Year. Trae Young could have been really, really close, and it
was close though, in my opinion, that year.
Yeah,
it was close.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you said, if he had a better first half. But the question, you got to go back to the root of the question, though. Will Bronny?
I said no.
Better? Oh, you said no. Okay, you did it.
Yeah, I said no. I said.
In my opinion, is no as well, right? But Bronny has a lot of potential, man. Like that kid is nice, bro. Like me, it's too early to judge because, of course, the kid is still in high school. He's still a kid. You know what I mean? He's still, you know what I mean? We don't even know what he's doing, like, on the pro level yet. We don't even know if he's going to go overseas, if he's going to go to college, if he's going to go to the G League. We don't know what he's going to do yet. So his game isn't developed yet. And he's playing under LeBron James' tutelage. He plays in a Lakers facility. That kid is going to be a problem. Like, we know he's going to be a problem. We just don't know, what exact. But me, if I had to compare it to a player, I wouldn't even say Trae Young. I would say more of a LaMelo Ball. Because LaMelo Ball didn't have a really crazy rookie season either, but it was solid. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what I'll probably like relate it to if I do have to compare it to a person. But overall, Bronny will probably be a player like, I want to say he's gonna be more like a Dame Lillard, kind of guy. Like maybe not as skilled, but I see a lot of Dame's game and Bronny. That's just my opinion, though. But the answer is no for me too.
And honestly, for us to even have that comparison about Bronny, we have to see him play at the collegiate level first. Yeah, you know what I mean. Once you start to see him play against other players who are competing, or trying to get into the league. Pro level. Once he gets to the collegiate level, then you can start to really get a feel of what his play style really is. Because high school, you can dog anybody. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be the best. You're gonna be the best player on the court, bro.
Lights, camera, action. You're gonna perform. Like he's gonna perform.
You feel me?
He has all the tools that he needs to be elite right now. You know.
So college, but that's a different game. Feel me? That you're playing against people who
a system. That's when you start playing an actual system.
Yeah, and he's gonna be playing against people on his level, probably even better. You get what I'm saying? Because
for sure better, because he's not highly scouted.
But he is scouted, so
he's scouted. But there's other players that are like, you know what I mean, like like teams are clamoring for them right now. Actually sending offers already. Like Bronny, I don't think Bronny has any official offers. He had some invites to campuses and to workouts and stuff, but I didn't hear about anything about him actually getting actual offers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
And but me personally, I feel like Bryce, like he's the one we really got to pay attention to.
Yeah, not for real. He's
like,
6'6".
I'm just saying, I was exactly size-wise. Like I don't know. Like in the year alone, he grew taller than his older brother, and they're not close in age. Like Bronny got a couple years on him, so
yeah,
that's pretty impressive. I feel like his game is gonna be more like LeBron if anything. Like if we get to see that, you know what I mean? Like so, I can't wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, not for real. Nah, I can't wait neither. So let's tap into the NBA season, man, because we gotta tap into this schedule because it's already hot. People already talking about it. ESPN is on fire, man. They talking about it crazy, bro, because they got some wild matchups. So let's get into this first topic first, man. I want to tap into the new things that's coming into this upcoming NBA season. I know it's far out, guys. NBA season is gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while, but good thing, right? We got football coming up, so we still got something to hold it, hold this up until the basketball season. But let's talk about this, man. Let's tap into it. All right, so let me bring that up. Right, switch that over. You can see it.
Hell no. Let me see.
Nah.
Let me see something real quick. Yeah, I can see it now.
All right, you can see it. All right, bet.
So Monday, November 7th, 13.
Yes, sir. Right. So right here, so let me just explain to everybody what's going on or what they're looking at here. So right here, right, is the 2022 to 2023 schedule edition highlights. So this year, right, we're gonna start to see some things that the NBA hasn't done before, and so they're gonna try to highlight some things into the season, try some things out. But there's a couple things that I want to point out that's gonna make this season really particularly interesting. Right. So let me tap in on these words, right? So first things first, 2022 election day. This was something that came out not too long ago. On November 7th, all 30 teams will play the day before election day. Will encourage players or fans to vote. No games will be scheduled on election day. So this was put out just to kind of give players and fans an opportunity to actually go out and vote. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory right there, so we don't really got to get into it. So next one, politics. Right? Yeah. So next one, right, is NBA Rivals Week. Man, this is gonna be crazy this week. I know that's way further down the line. This is the week of January 23rd. This is gonna be next year. So NBA Rivals Week will feature 11 nationally televised games across 4 channels: TNT, ESPN, ABC, and NBA TV over 5 days from Tuesday, January 24th to Saturday, January 28th. The matchups will include Boston, Miami, Clippers, LA, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Memphis, Golden State Warriors, Chicago, Charlotte Hornets, Dallas, Suns, Memphis, Minnesota, Toronto, Warriors, Denver. Is that Philly?
Knicks.
Is that Philly?
Oh, Denver, and how is it Philly twice? It might be because it's the NBA schedule, so it could happen like that.
Okay, so Denver, Philly, Knicks, Nets, and then Lakers and Boston.
Oh yeah, Boston twice and Lakers twice as well. So yeah,
man, that was a mouthful. But boy, that's getting me excited just looking at those games right there. So you know what? Let's take a break right here. Let's talk about these matchups specifically right here, Cuzzo. So
let me get
these
inside
matchups,
hold on,
right?
Because he's eating me alive in the sunny Florida.
I'm here in the room, man. I'm hot, sweating up in here, man. People don't know it's hot as hell in this room, but I had to close the windows. I got hella fans on, a purifier, man.
Not right now. Not right now, man. Not right now. Not right now.
So let's talk about these matchups, man. So let me get into it. Let me talk about the matchups that I think I would find the most exciting from this list, right? So the biggest matchup I'm going to take off rip is the Clippers and the Lakers. This the battle for LA, right? The battle for LA. This is something we've anticipated for a long time coming. I mean, we've seen before the Clippers and the Lakers always go against each other during the regular season. But this time around, You know, the Clippers are looking to be making another statement this year. I mean, they got Tyronn Lue. They hired him last year, and this is the first go around where he's going to have a full roster once again with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George back in the mix, with the addition of John Wall coming off the bench, right? So we've already talked about LeBron James signing his contract extension, so we know that he's here to stay. And
that man,
the Lakers newly signed, right? Newly hired Darvin Ham, the head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. So there's a lot of questions between this matchup. There's a lot of questions between these two teams. And so this matchup alone is going to fire things up. We might see the battle for LA in the playoffs, and I hope we see it. I hope we see it. Cuzzo, let me know, man. What do you think about this matchup?
Oh, man. First and foremost, man, the Clippers are always hyped up to play the Lakers. The Lakers look at it as a regular game, but the Clippers look at the Lakers as the Western Conference Finals every time they play. They talk about it on Twitter. They all hyped up about it. Pat Bev talk shit, whoever talk shit, whatever. Like, but the Lakers are gonna look at it like every other game. Like, you know, it's gonna be paid attention to. It's gonna be circled in the schedule, but they're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really a big deal for the Lakers. Like, we're gonna run through them. Period. Like, and even if the Clippers win, because they're stacked, they're just gonna do what it takes to fumble the bag like they always do, because they are the fucking strippers.
The strippers?
It's the strippers.
Okay, man. But you know what though? Let me tap into this clip to the Clippers, man, because even though it is hyped up, you know, the Clippers are still the Clippers. Hey, I'm not picking them to win the championship until I see them win the championship. You feel me? I'm not on that train yet, man. I gotta see it to believe it. Because I didn't see nobody picking the Bucks. I didn't see nobody picking the Bucks when they won a championship. I didn't see nobody picking the Bucks last year after they won the championship. I mean, I know you did, but I mean, people were still sleeping on them.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And so with Kawhi coming back, I mean, we've seen him. We've seen Kawhi come back, man. He was looking buff. He was. I didn't want to say nothing crazy, but I'll just say he's looking crazy, bro. Paul George, we already know what he could do at the wing, right? With the combination with the wing guard, with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, right? I think, but hey, you can't alleviate, you cannot alleviate the fact that Tyronn Lue is coaching this team, bro. He might be the kryptonite to LeBron James, bro. He might be the kryptonite to LeBron James. He might be the LeBron James stopper.
Everybody knows LeBron James stopper is Jason Terry.
Well, at least you admit that one, though. But so
until LeBron got his get back when he dunked on him in Boston.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that one though too.
He obliterated him and got his respect back.
All right, so next one, right? Next one I want to particularly point out is the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Golden State Warriors. So a lot of ish has been going on between these two teams, right? We've recently just seen this team play off against each other in the NBA Finals in the second round of the playoffs, right? And it was getting gritty. It was getting.
You talking
close.
about Brooklyn and Philly, right?
No, I'm talking about Grizzlies and Warriors, man. Pay the hell attention, man. I'm talking.
No, why did you skip? Why did you skip Philly? You know, why you skip?
No, I said I'm saying the ones I'm pointing out.
Oh, that's fucked up.
I'm talking about the ones I'm pointing out. I mean, you could bring up another matchup.
Okay, no, I got you.
I'm pointing out the ones I want to watch.
I understand.
Feel me? I'm talking about the ones I want to talk about.
I understand. CashSports. We're in CashSports show, everybody.
This is my shit. But no, man. So yeah, I got the Grizzlies and the Warriors, man. I think that's going to be a really tough matchup, considering the way the Grizzlies had fell to the Warriors last year. Ja is pumped for real, and with Ja Morant playing, missing those couple of games in that postseason. I'm not saying the Grizzlies would have beaten the Warriors, but it damn well would have been a harder series if Ja Morant were to be playing in those games. And just I'm a big Desmond Bane fan. I think Desmond Bane is I think he's a really good player. I mean,
he's bravo.
Like he's a stocky guy.
He's a stud.
You know what I'm
Stud,
saying?
sure.
And just aside from that, you know he had the highest 3-point percentage field goal average last year in the playoffs.
I can believe that.
Shooting damn near 50% from three.
I can believe that.
You feel me? So
That kid got hard.
You feel me? So this is the type of player that Desmond Bane is. We already know what type of player John Moran is, right? Jaren
Jackson, him being gone for half the season next season is gonna hurt them bad, though.
It is.
It's gonna hurt them bad. Sure. It's gonna drop them down in the seeding a bit because of what they were, the 4th seed, right?
Mm-hmm. No, they were the 2nd seed, I believe.
They might have been the 2nd seed.
Yeah, I think they were the 2nd seed. Because remember, they were the top seed for a little bit. And I know the 1st seed was the Suns.
Okay. They might have, they might have been the 2nd seed, yeah, for sure. But because they played the Timberwolves, right? The first round. Who they played the first round?
Oh, the Warriors or the Grizzlies?
The first round, the Grizzlies. Who did they play the first round?
Timberwolves,
right? They played the Timberwolves, yeah. So, so they were the 2nd seed. But keep in mind though, so that's gonna hurt them. That's gonna drop them down a bit. So they might drop down to around the 6th seed, I feel. And I feel like the Pelicans are gonna make a push for the playoffs this season. But let me not change the subject.
No, they're going to the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
No, the Pelicans are going to the playoffs.
I feel like we didn't touch base on Pelicans at all.
Nah, we didn't. I mean, it's because they weren't brought up. In this list though. Yeah, they're not even on the.
Here in CashSports, we're gonna bring everything up.
But yeah, they're not in the lineup for Rivals Week, so they're not in there. But yeah, that's all you gotta say with the Grizzlies and Warriors. Because I'm about to bring up the next matchup.
Yeah, I don't really care too much about it, but I know Ja's gonna be pumped, and I don't care too much about Golden State. So I hope go Memphis. Hope they smoke them.
All right. So the next matchup.
One more thing. Ja's my 3rd best favorite player right now. It's LeBron, Giannis, and Ja. So I'm rooting for Ja all the way. Go ahead.
You rooting for Ja?
All the way.
Okay. Yep. All right, man. I'm gonna hold you to that, bro.
Look, LeBron,
so the
Giannis, Ja. Top 3.
So the last matchup that I want to talk about now, that obviously we got to point out, is the historical matchup between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Boston Celtics. I don't even got to explain why this matchup is so important. Why is this matchup so crucial? This is the rival of rivalries. This is the king of the NBA rivalries.
This is Bill Russell, This is Larry and Magic.
Yes,
Birdie
sir.
Magic.
This goes back to the heyday. This
Kobe
goes
and
back
Paul
to
Pierce.
when the NBA
this is
created, right? And so when you got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, right, and whoever's, hey, forget all the other players, just LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
And Tatum and maybe Durant.
and then you're playing, and then you're talking about the Boston Celtics, who recently just went to the finals. So in a week like this, in a game like this, I mean, I know it's so far
17 chips versus 17 chips.
It's hard to predict, what's going to happen during the season. But I'm pretty sure at this point in Rivals Week, this is going to be a true test for the Lakers. This is going to show, right? Because January 24th to January 28th, that's around the time where it starts to be, the mid-season. It's right around the All-Star break. So around All-Star break or even after All-Star break, that's almost similar to playoff basketball. You get what I'm saying?
You know what the teams are like.
Yeah. Teams are going to start going harder either near the All-Star break but you damn well know they're going to ball their asses out after the All-Star break, because guess what? That's when seedings are going to start to come into play. And so for this matchup for the Lakers and the Boston Celtics, this game right here is going to set a championship tone for the Lakers potentially. And the result of this game is going to show us, right, what the Lakers are made of this particular year. Because we already know the Boston Celtics, they're going to go deep, right? They're going to make it. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to go far in the playoffs. So really, the biggest question is the Lakers, and are they going to be able to play a team against another team, right, who are not only their rivals, but a team that just came from the NBA Finals.
Well, you really, tackled much of everything I was gonna pretty much say about it. So, like,
Sorry about that.
it's not. No, you're good. There's not really much for me to say. Like, it's historic matchup, 17 versus 17, green versus purple and gold. Like, it's just all time. Like, and I like the way they setting it up. So I know during actual Rivals Week, they're actually gonna probably show us clips of like, snippets of why these teams are rivals, and you're gonna see some real cold stuff like Bird and Magic. That's what I just feel like, because that's what the NBA does. They appease the people nowadays. So it's gonna be some real good stuff, and like just to see LeBron and AD on the floor together, like, and just knowing it's gonna be a historical night. LeBron's gonna perform. Like, LeBron performs he feeds the crowd. Like, if he knows there's a game that he could get pumped up for, we know, and especially coming from last season, the type of player, like the play he played at, the level he played at. I feel like this season is just everything's just gonna fall right into place for him. Like, it's just gonna be whatever he wants. Like, it's gonna. The game is so slow for LeBron. He's gonna be able to dissect every. This season it's gonna be. Look, last season we try to appease Russ, and I hate bringing back to Russ, but I have to because I hate him so much. So we appease Russ to try to keep him satisfied. But this year, Darvin Ham said it. The ball is going to be in LeBron James' hand. So by January, near this game, LeBron's gonna already know how to, like, what the team's gonna look like, if they're championship contenders or not. And if they are, then come on, man, book it, Dano. I got the Lakers next team, next matchup.
Nah, for sure. All right, so let's get into this last bulletin point, right, with the additions for the league, so we can tap into the next part of the conversation. So,
you don't want to talk about Knicks and Nets?
Nah, man, I don't even want to talk about that, man. So travel reduction, right? So the NBA is
Subway Series. It's a Subway Series.
The Subway Series, the Nets and the Knicks.
Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
I mean, it would be good if they get Donovan Mitchell, though. If they get Donovan Mitchell, then yeah, I would.
And if the Nets are still relevant, because if they trade KD, Kyrie, Ben Simmons, then it's really going to be a piece of shit show. But go ahead, my bad. I didn't need to cut you off.
No, you good. And Kevin Durant, we need to find out what's going on with this Kevin Durant situation before we can even really think about that situation. But I mean, we already know what Kevin Durant's on with that BS, man. We don't know what's going on, bro. That man wants to be what Charles Barkley said. He wants to be a bus rider, bro. He wants to be bus rider, man. Fuck that guy, dude. Fucking left my team, bro. Remember, bro. Hey, bro, I grew up on Kobe and the Lakers, but hey, man, I still got to try to rep some type of home team. So, I mean, I gotta have love for something.
Ever since they went to Brooklyn instead of the Knicks, I lost even more respect for them, bro.
How, bro? Come on, man. You need a team from that's close to the boroughs, bro. You feel me? Aren't you born in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I am, but still, bro, it's just like I feel like the Brooklyn Nets are not even really the Brooklyn Nets. They're really the New Jersey Nets. They just moved to Brooklyn. Like it's the New York team is the Knicks, bro. It's just plain and simple. You know what I mean? Like New Yorkers, you know what I mean? Like, and then my first NBA game was actually a Brooklyn Net game that we went together. Remember? So
yeah,
I'm talking shit.
Lakers and Nets.
Have fun. I really had a blast. But I'm just saying though. You know what I mean?
Nice ass stadium too.
Yeah, that's just real nice, bro. I had a great time, and so I mean, that's a game I would probably get tickets to just because I know they're probably dirt cheap. But the teams suck.
Yeah, but Brooklyn Nets games typically always have they're always a little bit on the cheaper side. It's almost like buying Clippers tickets.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You're gonna always get it for some type of bargain.
Yeah. So last part, right? So travel reduction. Estimated travel has been reduced to 41,000 miles per team, a record low in the era of 30 teams and 82 games per team. Estimated travel has been reduced by a total of more than 50,000 miles from last season, nearly 2,000 miles per team. So I'm assuming that this addition to the season is just to kind of give players some comfort in between these games, right? So if anybody really stays on top of the NBA schedule, sometimes these guys can be on a road trip and they can play back-to-back games, right? So This is more or less so
4 games in 5 nights. Sometimes they go crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, for real. So this is to kind of help give the players a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of a break, so that these guys can hopefully stay healthy throughout the season, right? So we can start to see these guys during the playoffs, because nothing hurts more when we don't get to see the players that we want to play, that we want to see play in the playoffs. It breaks my heart, man. It does. It truly does. Right. So before we get into the next segment, please, if you're watching right now, y'all streaming, please like and subscribe to Cash Sports, because we are here all the time talking sports, NBA, football, eventually boxing. Boxing is coming real soon. Stay tuned for that, because there's some big things coming in the boxing world, man. I'm already on it. I'm on it every day, right?
Working.
I know y'all see that Cash App at the bottom. It is optional, right? But it would help support my platform, so I can get things balling, because I have big things coming towards Cash Sports, right? Also, for those that might not know, I do present betting odds on my channel. So every other day, right, or whenever it's necessary, I will provide the latest updates on sports betting for either NBA or NFL. So stay tuned, man. NFL season is coming up real soon. So that means I'm going to be updating, giving out betting odds, spreads, live.
Right here on Cash Sports, too. Not the other Cash Sports channel. Because there's a Cash Sports channel that's a Cash Sports betting channel.
Man, they frauds over there, man. They phonies over there, bro. This is the real Cash Sports, bro.
The real Cash Sports.
This is the real one right here, right? So
get that catch up.
Stay tuned. Oh, by the way, if you guys are watching this, which means you guys probably love the NBA, I already have the NBA betting odds, right, for next season. So if you go back into the channel, right, and you see I got NBA betting odds, if you tune into that, right, let's just say you guys don't want to watch the whole video, I do have the link in the description, right, so you can click on that, and then you can see the odds, and then not have to watch the whole video, because I do talk about the video. I do talk about each individual player, MVP odds, things of that nature, who's probably going to win a championship, right? So you can get that under the channel, and also hit the notification button, so whenever we go live online, you guys can tune in. And also, let me drop this in too, for anybody who wants to also join the conversation, I've dropped the link in the comment section for anybody who wants to get this heat, right? Because Cash Sports family, Cash Sports is right here. We here to talk anything and everything when it comes basketball. I dare y'all to try it over here, man, because we ready over here, bro. Feel me? So like I said, like the channel, stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in to Cash Sports, right? So let's get into the new topic, right? So let's do a vote. So next one, we could either do every NBA team win-loss prediction, or we can get into the top 15 must-see games for next season. What you trying to do, Cuzzo? Let me know.
Let's do the first one, the betting odds for the teams.
Every team's win-loss prediction?
Yeah, win-loss predictions, yeah.
All right, bet. Let's do that. Let's get into that. Right there. All right, so as you can see, this is presented through the Bleacher Report. It was dropped by Andy Bailey as of August 17th, which is today, right? So I'm not gonna waste time. Let's get straight into it, because we've already been almost an hour on this right now.
Content. This is all content.
No, it is.
You got some good stuff, man.
Zoom out a little bit. So first,
how are we gonna do this? Are we gonna say we agree, disagree, give our opinions on it?
Oh yeah, we could give our opinions. I just won't go on like in a long spiel, but we can. You know what? Let's do this. So we go for
there's a lot of teams.
So we could say over and under, and whether we agree with it or not.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that. Over, yeah. So over, under. So we're gonna talk
whether
about
we agree
over,
or
under, under.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying? So first team on the list. So just follow my lead. You'll get the sense, right? So Atlanta Hawks, they got them projected to win 47 to 35 games, right? That means they're going to be over or under 45.5 games this year. Atlanta Hawks has just signed DeJounte Murray from the Spurs. He was the leading steals. He was the leader in steals last year, and he actually was pretty close to averaging a triple-double last year, or he had almost triple-double like numbers for the Spurs. So the Hawks are definitely looking to be making a statement this year with Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, and John Collins. But for 45 wins, honestly, I got them under. I got them under in this one. But it's gonna be a hair. If it's not 45, I got them either 43, 44 wins. I know that's really close to call. Hey man, but that's how I see it. Cuzzo, tap in. What you think?
I think they'll be around over 45 games. But they're a pretty good team before DeJounte Murray, and adding him just really allows Trae Young to be Trae Young. So pretty much for the most part, I'd say they go over, and if they do, maybe around 47 games. So I agree, over.
Okay, I got you. So next team coming on this list is the Boston Celtics.
That parentheses is their record from the previous season, right?
Is it? Honestly, that's crazy. I don't even know. I'm thinking, all right, so let's just go. Let's stick with the over and under, because now I'm thinking. Now you have me questioning.
No, because you know what I mean. It kind of helped a little bit though.
That was a good question, because I def could have been reading that wrong. I'm not gonna hold you. So Boston Celtics, right? They went 52. You know what? Let me tap into that. Let me look that up.
Let's double check that, because
No, for sure.
That kind of gives us a good idea of what we can do, what we can look at.
But Boston Celtics, right? Their over and under is 56.5 games. So the betting line would either be whether they go over or under 56 games. So that's pretty tough to call. For a team like the Celtics, I mean, it's pretty reassuring that the Boston Celtics are going to win 50 games. It's really just a matter of how many games are they going to win. Now 52. Now around 56, I could see the Boston Celtics. I could see the Boston Celtics having a better year than last year, because people forgot that last year the Boston Celtics didn't come out too hot in the first part of the season. Then they started to pick up stride in the second half of the season, and then we got to see the Boston Celtics being able to compete in the NBA Finals. So this year, if they do not trade for Kevin Durant, with the addition of Malcolm Brogdon, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum, with also Robert Williams and Al Horford, I see this game going over 56 wins, probably winning close to 60. What you think, Cuzzo?
I agree. I feel like, they made it to the finals last year. They're gonna have the confidence to go even further. You know what I mean? A team like that, it just goes to show you, you see what Phoenix did after they went to the finals. They came back and was one of the top seeds in the league, right? You know what I mean? So I feel like Boston will follow suit and do the same thing. Maybe I'll go over, and I'd say around, I want to say, depending on if because we don't know if they trade KD or not, but as this team has constructed now, I'd say maybe 58 games to almost 60, maybe even 60 games. Yeah. All right. I see them easily being the number one seed over the Bucks.
I got you. So coming up next is the Brooklyn Nets, right? So I did look it up. The record is not the record from last year. That is the record that Bleacher Report has it predicted. Yes, predicted. So win-loss prediction. So Brooklyn Nets, they got them winning 48 games, losing 34. And then they got them over and under 45.5 games this year. So honestly, this year, I think this is spot on. I think Bleacher Report has it spot on, regardless of the fact that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are both on this team. The only reason I would say they even touch 50 games, 50 wins this year, is if this team is healthy. And God knows we haven't seen Kyrie. Yeah, and the BS, honestly, we can only hope that's going to happen. The injuries is a lot more assuring than you know what I'm saying, than the BS. And the BS is just as just as out there as as the injuries. So with Kevin Durant, we haven't seen Kevin Durant play a full season in a long time. Kyrie Irving, we haven't seen him play a full season in a long time. Right, I think the most games that Kyrie Irving plays is probably around 60 games per year on average. Right, so with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant is still up in the air whether he's still going to be on this team or not. But what we know is that Ben Simmons is ready to go. I could see some really good things coming from Ben Simmons this year. Probably have a breakout year, right? Maybe average 18 to 20 points this year, and nearly average a triple-double because we know what type of play he is in that ground. But I got this team going under 40. I got this team going under 45 games. We're possibly winning 43 to 44, and then the Nets just come to a conclusion that this team just doesn't work out with each other.
Well, me, I have them pretty much right at the over/under at 45.5. So it could be 46, it could be 44, but it definitely is not. It's definitely not going to be 60, and it's definitely not going to be,
50,
30. You know what I mean? So it's just going to be around the midway. Like there'll be a playing team, or if not, a low seed. But whether they keep Durant or not, I don't see like the bullshit going behind them. I don't see the injuries not happening. I don't see no trades not happening. So this team, I go under on that one for sure.
Okay. All right. Got you on that. So next team is the Charlotte Hornets, right? Bleacher Report has them projected to win 37 games and losing 45. The over and under is 37.5. I got this team going under, man. It's close to call. It's close to call, but I don't see the Hornets being in the play-in like they did last year. Even though they have gotten better. They're a good team. They're a team that you can't necessarily count out as being competitive. Keyword, competitive. But they're still relatively young. Even though they got a player like Terry Rozier is not enough. But this record with the Charlotte Hornets is entirely up to LaMelo's play. If LaMelo
did they make any key additions this offseason?
Apparently this year.
No, I feel like they made them. Yeah. So
I know of. So there's really nothing to really be convinced about this team. And they lost Miles Bridges too. Let's not forget that too. That man might be going to prison. You feel me?
For a long time.
I'm locked up. They won't let me out. Hey man, that man might be doing some time, bro. I'm not making fun of his situation, but hey man, So in actuality, Hornets just got worse. So what do you think on that? I don't really got much to say on that.
Well, I feel like they got worse as well. They didn't make any key additions. And just like teams are, when you make the play-in and stuff like that in one season and you don't make any key additions or any things like that, teams are going to start adding you to the scouting report and start really paying attention to you. So next season, they're not going to just let, those games that they could have lost, they're going to lose next season. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be more of that. So I got them going under.
Okay, got you there. All right, so next team following after that is the Chicago
under
Bulls.
Next team.
No, I got. Hey, you real talk on that? You feel that way?
I mean, I feel like they're gonna go over. I feel like they out of all the teams, they got smacked with COVID real hard in the beginning of the season, and that messed up a lot of it, and injuries.
Yeah, and injuries. Lonzo.
So
Continue.
Lonzo, Caruso, like they got smacked with a lot of injuries, and COVID hit them hard. So, and they actually were the top seed in the East. Like they were on fire. DeRozan was an MVP candidate. So they started off right. So if they could stay consistent, I could see them winning possibly even 50 games. So I'll go over on that. I was just playing around.
Yeah. No, I go over too. I see them if this team could stay healthy. I think Lonzo being hurt last year was a big hit to the team. Little do they know, I think Lonzo is a really great role player. I mean, if he defends and he's gotten better with his shooting. I mean, Lonzo is shooting 40% from three this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying. So for somebody who can shoot and defend and play make, and Caruso ain't no pushover neither. Another great role player. Zach LaVine re-signed with the Bulls, and DeMar DeRozan ain't going nowhere. So yes, this team is definitely going over 44.5 wins, and they might win 50.
I think so too. Agreed. Next team.
So next team, right? Cleveland Cavaliers. What's up with this team, man? What you think?
Over and under, I'd say they go under because it's just much of the same thing as far as like Charlotte. They made a pretty good splash last season. You know what I mean? They made a splash last season, Cleveland, like without post-LeBron era. They made some noise. But next season, teams are going to pay attention to them. They didn't make any major moves. They're going to go under. Next, go ahead. Not too
okay,
much
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna disagree with you on this one. Actually, I'm gonna agree with Bleacher Report on this one. 46 wins this year. Actually, I think that's very agreeable. Evan Mobley, and Darius Garland, and not to mention Jarrett Allen. You talking about players who somewhat had a breakout season last year.
They did. They made a splash.
You know what I'm saying? So, do I see the Cavs potentially making a statement in the playoffs? Absolutely not. That's not where I'm taking this, right? But for a team that's projected to go over and under 41.5 games, honestly, I'm gonna take that 46 on the Cavs because Evan Mobley was a rookie last year. Darius Garland had a breakout year. Jarrett Allen is a really good defensive player, and he's really becoming a double-double machine. So with this team, the Cavs, honestly, I wouldn't overlook them. So 46 games, I definitely got them going over 41.5 games this year.
I agree.
So coming in next, right, is the Dallas Mavericks, man. We got Luka legend, Luka Doncic, right?
Luka Magic.
The myth, the man, the myth, the legend, the Slovenian warrior, right? They got the Bleacher Report has Dallas Mavericks winning 50 games this year. That they got them over. The over and under is 48.5. Do I see the Mavericks winning 50 games? Honestly, I do. I mean, I don't think there's really much to really talk about this. They just got Christian Wood, even though they lost Jalen Brunson. I think the addition of Christian Wood definitely gave him some size, some efficient size. Because now you can, Luka can, he can work his magic down low. You got Christian Wood who can score, so he has somebody who can go to, and not like. Unfortunately, it's Christian Wood can potentially fill the void that Kristaps Porzingis was supposed to fill. Right, so all it takes is for the Dallas Mavericks to go far is to really just bring everything together, not being so Luka heavy. But winning 50 games, I think that's really, it's not really something to dispute.
All right, so I'm up. So I'm right at the over and under, around 48.5, either 49 or 47 games, or 50 to 49 games, like around that range. So I got them going over because that Christian Wood is a big move for them. I think they're going to make a big leap next season. Even though they lost Brunson, they got a bigger need in Christian Wood. So they'll be able to replace Brunson, I feel like, easily. But what they picked up in Wood was definitely a big pickup. But I also got Luka going for MVP this season. Book it. Over.
Yeah, he was projected to win MVP.
Yeah, but I'm
actually he was. Yeah,
I know they projected him, but I feel like he's gonna win it.
Hey, I mean, out of all the years, I think this is the year he should win it.
Because if they win 50 games, that's enough argument above that next league. Because his numbers are there to always be MVP, but it's just the amount of games played, and also the seeding of the team is what I feel like affects his case a lot, and his age too. But all that is going to be knocked out next season because he's going to pretty much be a vet. He's going to be 4 years in the league now.
Yes, at this time he should be.
Thank you.
He should definitely be he should at least be a finalist this year.
Of course, for sure.
Yeah, at least should be a finalist. I would expect that from him.
Yeah, I feel like Embiid. He's going to take Embiid's spot in that finalist. You drop something?
All right, so coming up next on this list, right, is the Denver Nuggets. Bleacher Report has them going 52, winning 52 wins. Denver Nuggets, man. So the over and under is 50.5. Honestly, I got them going over 82, bro.
Oh, let me join from my phone. Just keep going. Just keep saying your opinion. My laptop's about to die. I'm gonna join from my phone.
No, you good. So the Denver Nuggets, right? They got them win 52 games. I was obviously joking on that remark, right? So, for the better part of the season, the Denver Nuggets, right? They weren't playing with Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr. But with this team, with the Denver Nuggets winning 50 games, honestly, I'm going to take that bet over and under. That I would definitely take that bet for the Denver Nuggets to be over 50 games. I mean, Nikola Jokic is a 2-time league MVP. Jamal Murray, even though it's been quite some time since we've seen him play, I have no reason to believe that his play would diminish or be set backward. Honestly, from where we saw him, we were actually somewhat disappointed on what he should have been and how he should have been playing, as opposed to what we've recently seen from Jamal Murray. So there's going to be a lot of eyes on Jamal Murray and this team with the Denver Nuggets, because with Nikola Jokic, I think the heat is coming, because you can't be a 2-time league MVP and not even have a finals appearance, right? So that's just my take on that. I definitely got them going over 50 games. I think it's pretty spot on. I don't really see, unless Jokic gets injured. And that's the only other reason why the Denver Nuggets would go under 50 games. All right. So next team is the Detroit Pistons. Bleacher Report has them winning only 27 games this year. That's poop, right? Over and under is 27.5. Honestly, I really don't got much to say on this, other than, the Detroit Pistons are obviously in a rebuilding year, or in a rebuilding session. I mean, the Detroit Pistons have kind of been rebuilding for a very long time. But with somebody like Cade Cunningham, who is emerging as a star in this league, it's exciting to see what type of player Cade Cunningham really truly becomes in this league. I mean, he's had some spotty moments, but he's definitely had some good moments too. So sorry about that. So I'm not going to be looking at the Pistons to be making any type of noise as it pertains to their competitiveness as a team, but just look out for Cade Cunningham and look out for the players on this team and see who the next star is in the near future. Right? So coming up next is the Golden State Warriors. Right? They got the projected to win 52 games out of 82. Over and under is 52.5. Now, this is very difficult because anything over 50, man, it's really hard to tell. It's really difficult to predict. But if this team is healthy, if everybody is playing, right? Klay Thompson has already had a season under his belt. He came back mid-season from his Achilles injury and the ACL, right? Stephen Curry coming fresh off of winning Finals MVP. You still got Wiggins. You still got Jordan Poole. I mean, yeah, they lost Gary Payton, but then you're gonna get Wiseman back in there, right? You got Kuminga, who could potentially blossom into the star that we think he could be. So the Warriors are definitely going to be a dangerous team. Now, do they go over 52.5 wins? I say they do. They do. I got them projecting to win either between 55 and 57 wins this year. Right? We leave it at that. Before I go even further, please, for anybody tuning in, for anybody watching, please like and subscribe to Cash Sports. I really do appreciate your guys' time while I do this, right? So if you want to get more content, please hit the notification button, so whenever I live stream, you guys can tune in to whenever we get back into it. Okay, I got you.
Damn, it's like waiting to get in VIP. I was like outside the club trying to get in, bro.
Oh no. Nah,
damn,
I
you
even
skipped like
peeped because
three
I was.
teams. You missed my take on like 3 teams. I didn't get Denver, Golden State on the team. What was the team before Golden State? I didn't get none of that.
It was the Nuggets.
Yeah,
It was
no, it was Denver. Yeah, Denver is the Nuggets. Golden State.
Yeah, no, it was the Pistons.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
Then the Nuggets.
Yeah.
All right, so let me get your quick takes on the Nuggets because I do want to hear your opinion on the Nuggets.
That's what I was gonna say. Goddamn, I said I was coming right back. I came right back, bro. All right, so literally when I came back, he was still on the Nuggets. I'm like, yo, damn, you gonna have me back? And you switched teams. I'm like, what the hell?
Yes, because I was on the other tab, so I can't see. I'm on the other tab. Yeah.
So now, Denver. I feel like over under 50 games. Like they're gonna have Jamal Murray back, so they're gonna look better. But I feel like they'll be under.
They'll be under?
Yeah, like maybe around 50, 48 games. Yeah.
Wow, you know it's crazy.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'm kind of shocked at that because 50, honestly, for 50 games, I think that's a gimme. I think that's a good bet. If the line for the Nuggets is over and under 50 games, I mean,
but it depends on how Jamal Murray is. We don't know what he's gonna look like coming back from that type of injury, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he can kind of mess up his chemistry a little bit, trying to get back into the groove. You know?
No, I got you. But look at it like this, right? With Jamal Murray, because I'm not trying to indicate anything like saying that he was worse than before. Because I'm gonna try to put it in a scenario. I'm gonna try to put it in a scenario so you can get where I'm coming from here, right? So after the 2020 postseason, right? We seen Jamal Murray, he was going off. He was averaging like 26. So going into the next season, we started to foreshadow, hey, what type of Jamal Murray are we going to see? Are we going to see Jamal Murray from the 2020 playoffs carry over into the next season? And that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case that year.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He was averaging, I believe he was averaging 17 to 18 points that year. He didn't even I don't even think he averaged 20 points that year. So my analogy is, and the way I looked at it is, even despite Jamal Murray being out for so long, I don't see him being worse. I don't see him being worse than that. You get what I'm saying? I see him at best. You get what I'm saying? Worst case scenario, Jamal Murray will probably come back
at the same level.
Yeah, at the same level or be better. Those are the only two. If he gets any worse, it's slim pickings, bro. Hey, you're under 50 games, it might be spot on. If Jamal Murray doesn't play well, hey, they're gonna win 40 games.
I agree.
Because you know what, my boy that be on here, you already know how he's a Jokic fan and stuff. He's banking on it. He's banking on Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. And I keep telling him, I'm like, yo, you're way too big on Michael Porter Jr., bro. He's not all
Michael
that.
Porter Jr. is a very good. He's a great disappointment.
He's a good player, but
he's
a
good.
third.
He's great.
But that's
he's a great
it, bro.
Yeah.
He's a great disappointment.
Yeah.
Nah, that's wild.
Like, these guys are too young to not be healthy, man. Like,
yeah,
they're on the floor, bro. You guys want these money. Like, they want the money. They want to get paid, but like Zion, like we don't see these guys play enough. You know what I mean? Like, we don't see these guys play. Like,
and not to mention, he's not a great defender too. So when you're the third option on the team, you have to defend, bro. I don't know.
That's like your role.
You got to
third option is usually a 3 and D always. Like,
you have to defend in that third, especially if you're a wing. Ooh, he's gonna have a tough time, bro. In the West, you're a wing in the West.
You're gonna wax.
Bro, if anybody knows, your wing has to be a championship caliber player. Look at just last year, Andrew Wiggins at the wing, right? The year before that, Chris Middleton at the wing. The year before that, right? Who won it before the Bucks?
The Lakers.
The Lakers, right? Obviously, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Right, so and then Kawhi Leonard before that. So that just goes to show you, right, that wings are a very valuable asset in today's league. And Michael Porter
like even
Jr.
the Lakers backup wings, they had a bunch of wings. They had Kuzma, they had Morris, they had wings on wings, and that's why I like. Well, you're gonna see what team I'm talking about when we get there. But yeah, Detroit Pistons. Just to keep us quick. I got the over. You know what I mean? Like, they're not a very good team. They're not a good organization. They have a good player, but they're not gonna make much of a splash.
No, I've said this, I said the same thing. I said don't really look out for the Pistons doing anything, but just keep an eye out on specific players like Cade Cunningham and see, you know, what goes down over there, right? So the next team on the list, right? I've already talked about the Warriors, so you could tap into this. You can take this one.
Oh man, Warriors got a chance to win possibly 60 games. So I'm not even gonna lie. Like I hate them, but I got to be realistic. You know what I mean? They just won the chip. Nobody thought they were gonna win. They're gonna start the season with all their players. Clay's back in the beginning of the season now, so I got them over, man. Over 52 for sure. They're not gonna be no playing team like last season. So they're gonna be solid. Like they're gonna be solid. Like They might be. They're definitely gonna be top 3 seed, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they're deep too. They're a deep team, bro. You feel me? Like you got those young players now who have championship DNA now, right? You got somebody like Jordan Poole. He was a young player. Now he's a champion. Andrew Wiggins, right, was overlooked. Now he's a champion, right? So you got a lot of these guys who now knows what it takes to get to that level, especially Andrew Wiggins, because I'm proud of that man. That man, Wiggins, man, I'm proud of him, man.
Yeah, he was definitely he had it rough for a high lottery pick. He had it rough. And the second he touched foot in the NBA, he got dealt like a bad
because LeBron didn't want him.
yeah. So from the second he touched the NBA, like that kind of like put a little dark cloud over his career. But I'm glad he was able to shake that off and you know prosper. So congratulations to him. I'm proud of him for sure. And get your money, bro.
Nah, for fact, man. That man needs to get paid. Andrew Wiggins does deserve to get paid and stay with the Warriors for the rest of his NBA career if he's smart.
You gotta ride that Steph Curry coattails as long as you can.
Definitely.
When you play with an all-time great talent, that talent's not easy to walk away. Like the Shumperts, the JRs, why do you think they run back to play with LeBron James? Like these, like you don't just, you know what I mean? You want to attach yourself to that as much as possible. So when they do break history, your name is sort of mentioned
right there
somewhere. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like Derek Fisher.
Derek Fisher, Big Shot, Bob, like, you know what I mean? Like, like those guys. Like those guys are impact players in a way too. So
no, for sure. All right, so let's tap into the next one. So Houston Rockets, right? They got the win projected to win 19 games this year and losing 63. Over and under is 23.5. I got them
under.
Honestly, does it matter?
It doesn't matter at all.
Does it matter?
No, next. I think we can move on. Next. We can move on.
Swipe right.
Teams, like, yeah, for sure. Delete.
All right, so another team now next on this list is the Indiana Pacers. Right, they got a Bleacher Report has the projected to win 23 games this year and losing 59, and the over/under is 22.5. Right, so another team that's a small market team. Honestly, they're hurting. Indiana Pacers is hurting right now. I do not know what this team is doing. One day they
have no direction.
I don't know. I really can't tell you like what the Indiana Pacers are doing. Like what? Like they'll be trading for star players the next, and then they'll trade them away. You get what I'm saying? Like so.
And then they'll trade for a young guy, and then add veteran pieces to make it seem like they're going for shit.
Yeah, it's
confusing.
So for the Pacers, man, it's hard for me to predict. Honestly, I'm just gonna have to say that
this is a team that might have to get moved to Vegas or something like that. Like they need
or to Seattle.
New identity. they need to revamp their whole shit. Like. Not in Indiana, like somewhere else. But I know the NBA wants to make it expansion teams and get bigger, but shit, get rid of this team. Bring the Supersonics back.
But real talk though, man, I can't really disagree. I can't really agree or disagree with Bleacher Report, man. So I'm gonna just go with over just because it is. Yeah. So I say the Pacers win 23 games.
I'll go over too.
You go over?
Yeah, a little, maybe a few. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Like maybe 30 games.
Yeah, exactly.
Like might win 30 because what's his name? Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, I think he's a good player. I think there's a lot of upside in this guy. So
but he's not going to bring a team to the playoffs. next.
Yeah, like 30. I think 30 games is good.
It's
I
fair.
think that's good
Yeah.
It's so next team coming up on this list is a playoff team contender. We already talked about this team earlier with the combination of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard being coached by Tyronn Lue, having Reggie Jackson, John Wall, Nicholas Batum back. What's his name? Zubac or Zabubu? I forgot his name. But this team, right now, the way this team is presently constructed right now, they are one of the teams predicted to be in the NBA Finals. And they might be the one team that can give the Warriors some serious work, along with the Lakers, if they can get their act together. We already know that they got LeBron James, right? They locked down one. They already got Anthony Davis, but we already know there's tons of questions as it pertains to the Lakers. But the Clippers, they're finalized, man. This is what we're looking at. This is the team that they are right now. And so the Bleacher Report has them win 51 games this year. Over under is 53.5. I got them going over. I got them winning 55 to 57 games this year. What do you got to say about that?
I agree. They're going to have some issues. They're going to have some drama. They're going to have some chemistry woes, but I feel like they're going to go over. But the Clippers are one of those teams that have the potential to be the number one seed next season, run through all the teams next season, win a crazy amount of win streaks, and run through teams. Like, they're just completely bulldoze through teams, right? And then in the playoffs, they're just going to go 0-3 in the second round or some shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
over in the regular season, but then they're going to drop the ball because they're the strippers. Next.
Next. Gotcha. All right. So, coming in after the Clippers are the LA Lakers. How are we not surprised? If you had to get the Clippers, you had to get the Lakers with. You know what I'm saying? Because LA ain't the Clippers. It ain't a Clippers town. It's Lakers town, baby. Showtime Lakers, right?
Lakers are the landlord. The Clippers are
right?
The
so we already know LeBron James has signed his extension because we repeated it numerous times. The great is staying with LA, right? They are projected to win 44 games this year with an over-under of 45.5 games this year. As we know, Russell Westbrook is still on the team, even though they are potentially seeking to still trade him or still trying to trade him. Lakers had a tough year, man. And I'm not going to hold you. This is going to be the hardest team to predict this year, just based off last season alone. But you know what? I don't care. Because LeBron James is on this team. And if this man is healthy, they're winning 50 games this year. I don't care. Going over. Lakers, 50 games. There you have it. Let me know, Cuzzo.
My man, LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron Ramon James. GOAT 23. GOAT James. The chosen one. A la James. Le GM. Le GOAT. All that shit, man. He will carry this team to the promised land once again. He's going to shut all the doubters up again. Because you got to understand, man, LeBron thrives in adversity, bro. Every time, these seasons like these, like, yes, we're going to have a comeback season that no one's going to be able to explain. And I'm going to be one of those few people that are going to stick by my guy till the fucking wheels fall off. LeBron fucking James is the GOAT, and I don't care what nobody say. 60 games, book it, number one season, number one seed, championship, fuck it. Lakers in 5.
There you have it, man. So, next team on this list, right, is the Memphis Grizzlies. Bleacher Report has Memphis Grizzlies winning 50 games, losing 32 games this year. The over and under is 48.5. The odds makers of FanDuel are forecasting a pretty significant slide for the Memphis Grizzlies, who won 56 games last year and finished second in the West last year. Right? So, Memphis Grizzlies over and under 48.5. I got them going slightly over. I'm gonna have to agree with the Bleacher Report on this one. I did not know that Jaren Jackson Jr. was going to be out for half the season. I heard some things saying that he wasn't going to be there for some time, but I didn't know it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be half the season. So that is a loss. That is going to hurt the Grizzlies, right? But when it comes playoff time, I think this team is going to be looking very different. It's going to be a hard team to beat. Very hard team to beat. I feel like there's only a select few teams going to be able to beat the Grizzlies in this up and coming season, and those teams are possibly the Lakers, Clippers, and Warriors. Any other team, I don't see them beating the Grizzlies. What you got to say on that, Cuzzo?
I agree as far as the playoff take. Those three teams are pretty much the only teams I could see beating them, and in the East, I would see the Bucks really pretty much beating them if it gets to that level. But like I said earlier, I already touched base on how I felt about Jaren Jackson, and that's going to hurt the team. So I feel like they are going to make a dip compared to last season. So I'm going to go under in the regular season. Like you said, like you said, in the playoffs, they're going to make a splash. They're going to be hard to beat. They're going to be tough. They're going to have grit. And they win games without Ja Morant. They win games without Jaren Jackson. So they're going to win games. But 50, no. I feel like I'll go under, maybe around 46 to 48 games. Next.
Okay. So, team coming after this is the Miami Heat. We already know what goes on in Miami. A lot of things go down in Miami. Whatever happens in Miami.
Hometown team.
Whatever happens in Miami stays in Miami. Right? So, Bleacher Report has the Miami Heat winning 49 games this year. Over and under 49.5. Bleacher Report has it smack dab in the middle. But they got them going under 49 games. What do you feel about this, cousin? I want to hear your point on this.
I feel like Miami's going to go under. Around 45 games, too. It's very similar to what's going on with these guys. Pretty much... I mean, I like the way the team looks, but there's just a lot of question marks I have about them. Like, what's gonna is Harold gonna finally make a splash? Duncan Robinson's gonna, do what he's supposed to do? It's a lot of questions I have about the Heat, but they're the Heat. They have one of the best cultures, one of the best organizations in the league. So you can never count them out. So they're always gonna be competitive, but I'll have them over and under. I'll have them under around 45 games. They're definitely going to take a slight dip, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, I'm going to disagree with you on here because there's one reason why I can't.
We all have our own opinions. It's just my opinion.
There's one reason why I can't say they go under 49 games this year. There's one. That is Jimmy Buckets. Right?
Bro,
I believe
Jimmy got
Jimmy
fake
Butler.
dreads. That shit's gonna fuck his game up.
Hey, come on, man. If anything, he's gonna be a shooter this year because of it. That man got dreads. That means he's looking to be a shooter.
What?
Watch that man come out guns blazing out here. Remember that man played his first season in Chicago. Man,
Chirac. He gonna be cheap keep. He's going to cheap keep, bro. Huh?
Gonna be cheap keep on the court, man. So Miami Heat,
more
man, even though the Miami Heat, right? They were the first seed in the East last year. Do I see the Heat being the first seed in the Eastern Conference? I don't think so. But I do think they win over 50 games. Miami Heat survived more than 25.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
After we do all 30 teams, let's do a quick take on our playoff teams, our playoff seeding, 1 through 8. Real quick though, since we've been here for almost 2 hours. So go ahead.
No, I got you. We'll run through this, and then that will probably be the last segment. So because I had one more, but we could do that one instead.
What was the segment you had?
It was top 15 must-see games, but no, we could do that.
Okay.
I would prefer that anyway.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Miami Heat survived more than 25 absences from Jimmy Butler, not to mention Kyle Lowry missed 19 games, and they lost PJ Tucker. So it is a loss, But we're looking for some more things out of Tyler Hero. He just recently won Sixth Man of the Year, right? And not to mention, he had one of, if not the greatest Sixth Man of the Year stats in a single season, right? So that means Tyler Hero is capable of being a starter. You are right with Duncan Robinson. There are some concerns with Kyle Lowry, and losing PJ Tucker was a big loss. But I still see this team winning just over 50 games. And I don't see them being the number one team in the East. So maybe they'll be in the middle ballpark, maybe between 4 to 6. But I don't see them being in the play-in tournament, and I don't see them at the top of the Eastern Conference Division. So next team coming up is the Milwaukee Bucks, right? Bleacher Report has the Milwaukee Bucks projected to win 52 games, losing 30. The over and under is 53.5. Cuzzo, what's your take on the Milwaukee Bucks, man?
The Milwaukee Bucks are simply what I feel like they're not going to purposely take a dip throughout the regular season. I feel like their main concern isn't going to be Giannis winning the MVP or trying to be the first seed. I think their main concern is just getting healthy, winning games, staying high seed, like staying as a high seed team, but mainly trying to just stay healthy throughout the playoffs because they don't want to have another season where they are playing without one of their core guys. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, Middleton healthy, we probably have Bucks and Warriors in the finals, and it's a completely different ball game.
Oh, yeah. So, good. I agree with you.
You know what I mean? So I feel like over and under, just to answer the question, because this is what the theme is, I feel like I'll have them right at 52 to 30, but maybe a little under, maybe around 50 games, 51.
No, I disagree with you.
Just to try to stay healthy. No, I know. Just to stay healthy, though.
No, I got you.
But they're
I'm gonna come at this. I'm gonna go at this differently. I got the Bucks being the number one team in the East coming next year. Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to have MVP-like numbers and potentially, or not even potentially, he will be in the MVP. He will be an MVP finalist once again, right? Chris Middleton, hopefully he's going to play in the playoffs. We're not talking about playoffs right now. We're just talking about the season. And I see the Bucks going crazy this year. Giannis always plays most of his games. He doesn't tend to miss games. And this year, I think they're going to come out with revenge. I think they're going to come out crazy. I think they're going to go try. I think they're going to really try to get that number one seeding. So then it would just be an easier road to the finals. So I got this team winning nearly 60 games this year. Okay. 60. Right? If not 60.
I agree.
Yeah. If it's not 60, it's really close. Really close. Right? So let me and on to the next team is the Minnesota Timberwolves.
We did every team already. Goddamn, how many teams are left?
it's 18, but we could try to quicken up the pace. So Minnesota Timberwolves, Bleacher Report has them projected to win 48 games and losing 34. Over and under is 47.5. Right. So the Minnesota Timberwolves, they just got Rudy Gobert. So Rudy Gobert is looking to make the Timberwolves a championship caliber team. So, yeah, great take on that one, buddy. But nah, man, I got this team. Honestly, I'm gonna agree with Bleacher Report on this one. I think just a 0.5 above the over and under 48 wins. I don't see them winning 50, but I think that's around the same ballpark with 48 to 49 wins.
I agree. Around 48, 49, maybe 47 wins. Definitely gonna. They already touched the playoffs, so they sniffed it. They know what it takes. They got a crazy talented player in Anthony Edwards. They got Karl Anthony Towns, who can focuses more on his game as a stretch five and really open up his offensive game. And they really picked up Rudy Gobert, who's gonna be a defensive anchor and who's gonna bring that chance, that contender to the team. So. They got a big three, in my opinion. Yeah. So that's a good team. I wish they just would have kept Beverly some way, somehow.
No, I got you. Yeah, they should have. They should have kept
Beverly. If they would have kept Beverly, that's 50 games, lock and book it.
Yeah,
but they didn't.
yeah,
So
yeah. Bonehead move.
bonehead move. But good trade nonetheless. Great trade.
Nah, I got you. So next team coming up on the list now is the New Orleans Pelicans, right? Bleacher Report has them win 45 games and losing 37. The over and under is 43.5, right? So New Orleans Pelicans, I think it's kind of difficult to predict. Zion Williamson will be coming back this season after a long hiatus from last season, but his roster is looking tough. I mean, you got Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Zion Williamson, and even a couple role players. And the coach ain't nothing to look over too, right? So with this team, with the New Orleans Pelicans, honestly, I think this is around the same ballpark. I do got them over 43 wins, but I got them falling between the margin of 45 to 50 wins this year. But if they do go over 50, I don't see them going too much over 50 games.
I got them at around, I'd say, they're definitely going to be a playoff team, but I'll say maybe around 41 to 42 games because there's still a lot of question marks around them. But you have Brandon Ingram, Zion, and you're a pretty decent coach, and you actually have a culture and an identity in that team. I kind of like it. You know, I like the way they look. So they're definitely going to be a playoff team, but I have them around 42, 40, 41 wins.
Okay.
So I'll go under.
Got you. All right, so coming in after them is the New York Knicks. Bleacher Report has them projected of winning 40 games and losing 42. Over and under is 39.5. Right? So New York Knicks, honestly,
another hard to predict team.
Yeah, it is hard because the Knicks, they could win.
I don't know how Jalen Brunson is going to look being the focal point of the team, and we don't even know if Donovan Mitchell's going to be there. So.
Yeah, tough. So as of right now with the team, with the way the team is presently constructed, honestly, I can't either agree or disagree with the Bleacher Report take with them winning 40 games. So in that take, I would guess I have to have the Knicks over 39 wins.
I have the Knicks over 39 wins too. Very similar to Bleacher Report at 40, maybe 41 wins is very tough to predict. So
yeah,
we're just gonna have to see with them. I'm gonna go Knicks, hometown hero.
Yeah. All right, so coming in now is OKC. Okay, Bleacher Report has OKC projected to win 18 games and lose 64, but the over and under is 24.5. Right? This team, OKC, is clearly in a rebuilding situation. A lot of young players. They drafted one of the biggest prospects in prior year in Chet Holmgren, right? There's a lot of potential with this guy, but I think he's going to be going through a lot. He's a skinny guy, skinny frame. I think he's a very good mid-range shooter. I think he's a really good shooter, but I think, down low, he's going to get some work. He's definitely going to get a lot of work. So, do they win 24 games this year? Honestly, I say they go. I agree with Bleacher Report. I say they go under. I think it's going to be a tough year for OKC. It's going to be a tough year for Chet Holmgren.
The next coming of KD? Hell no. I go under. They're going around 18, 20 games.
All right, man. So the next team now is the Orlando Magic. Bleacher Report has them projected to win 25 games and losing 57. The over and under for the Magic is 25 games, 25.5. Right, so this is another hard team to predict. Any losing team, man, is hard to predict because it's like, hey, you gotta predict how many games really they're gonna lose too, So, real talk, feel me? So, yeah. But with that, man, I'm gonna just kind of go with Bleacher Report on this one too. I can't really agree or disagree. This is kind of like almost like the Detroit Pistons take. You really gotta just look out for Paolo. I forgot Paolo. So we gotta see, what type of player he really comes to be. So after his rookie season, I think we can have a better assessment the next year on just depending on how he plays.
I'm pretty much looking forward to Orlando versus Atlanta because of that little beef that he got with DeJounte Murray.
Yeah. Next. That's the only thing you're looking from the Magic, huh?
Yeah.
I got you. All right, so coming in next, right, is the Philadelphia 76ers, man. One of the most anticipated teams headed into next season. Bleacher Report has them projected to win 51 wins and lose 31. The over and under is 50.5. I think this is an easy bet. I don't think this is hard to say. 76ers definitely go over 50 wins. I don't see them going under, right? Joel Embiid, I think he has another MVP-like season. I think going into this year, James Harden, we might see a rebirth of Harden. Now, we're not going to see no 30 points per game, James Harden. He did average 22 last year. But if he can bump that up to 25, maybe even 24, right? It's a 2-point difference, 2 to 3 point difference, but it's a significant difference. And James Harden is already known for running the point very well. So I got this team winning over 50 games. I think it's a no-brainer.
Okay, I agree. Over 50 games. Embiid is going to take a dip in the MVP finalist category, I think. He's going to be still in conversation, but I feel like Luka's going to kind of take a spot. Because, you know, they're going to have Harden throughout the beginning of the season this time around. So it's going to be much harder for him to get those super crazy numbers. Like, he's still going to be able to get those crazy numbers because Harden is a great guard, great facilitator. But, you know, I just feel like as a team, so this is what we're talking about, not individual, I have them winning over 50 games, maybe around 53, 54 games.
Okay. I got you. Yeah, that's around the same ballpark. Okay, so coming in afterward, man, is the Phoenix Suns. Bleacher Report has the Phoenix Suns winning 52 games this year. Over and under is 53.5. Right, so Phoenix Suns, man, they had a rough downfall last year. It was a bad loss. That game 7 against Dallas Mavericks was embarrassing. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. Honestly, I canceled my cable because of that game. It was the worst playoff basketball game I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Feel me? I don't even watch basketball games anymore because of that game. I read the newspaper. But nah. Phoenix Suns, I think I'm kind of surprised that they got them 53 games because they were. I think the Warriors. Yeah, they got them 53, but they gave the Warriors.
They're not counting the chemistry issues. I don't think, like, because they're not counting a lot of stuff with these teams. I feel like, you know, they're just going by the teams and hoping everything goes right. I think there's no way you have these teams to go 52 and 30 for the bullshit they went through.
But nah, to have them going over 53.5, I mean, I'm just surprised that it's higher than other teams like the Warriors who who just won a championship.
Exactly my point.
But you get what I'm saying? But that doesn't dispute the fact that, you know, the Warriors weren't the number 1 seed last year, even though I would have them being the number 1 seed next year. But 53 games, I think that's a no-brainer. I think the Suns winning over 53 games is pretty much a safe call in my book. I mean, they just re-signed DeAndre Ayton. Devin Booker just got paid also. Mikal Bridges was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And so now, you know, now that these 3 guys, it's looking like that's more the big 3 than Chris Paul, actually. Chris Paul is just, at this point, more so a leader and the facilitator of the team, and he sets the tone. Yeah. But this team is revolved around these 3 players. And so I don't see them winning. I don't see them under 53 games, man.
I see them right at 50, maybe around 50 games to be exact. 50 and about 32 maybe, you know what I mean? So, which is still a great team, but I feel like they're just going to take a dip because I feel like Ayton's going to be checked out. Yeah. And it's just not going to be the same, you know, like Chris Paul is going to be 1 year older again. So it's just, I don't know, you know what I mean? There's no way they make it further. I feel like their height, that was their peak in this stint. You know what I mean? Like last season was their downfall. It was like the start of like the decline of the Suns.
I got you. So now the next team coming up is the Portland Trailblazers.
Next.
Bleacher Report.
Nah, go ahead.
Bleacher Report has them projected to win 38 games and losing 44. and the over and under is 38.5. Right? I'm gonna take a different tone on this team, man. A lot of people are giving Damian Lillard a lot of ish for his decision to stay with the Portland Trail Blazers. But the question is, will he win a championship? I think that's undisputed. I think that's undisputable. Damian Lillard definitely does not win a championship in the Portland Trail Blazers. But that does not take away that Damian Lillard, whenever he's been on a team or whenever he's been on the Trailblazers, they have always been a competitive team. Since the time he was a rookie up until last year, that was one probably. Now I don't know this. I may be wrong. Last year might have been the first time that the Trailblazers have had a losing record under Damian Lillard, and he wasn't even playing most of the year, right? So I'm gonna definitely say that this team goes over 38 wins. I mean, it's gonna be a tough year. I mean, they got Anthony Simmons, who I think is a really great young player. I could see them maybe winning 41, 42, maybe even 43 to 45 games. What you think?
Well, I feel like they'll be. I don't have them as high as you do. I feel like they'll definitely take a dip next season. They paid Damian Lillard max money, so it's gonna be hard for them to build a team.
Take a dip. They only won 27 games.
No, but I'm saying as far as like they're still not even gonna be as good as last season. So if anything, like it's not gonna be a huge dip, but they're gonna be one of the lower end teams in the West, even with the Damian Lillard. I feel like they're not gonna be competitive at all. They have no defense. Outside of Dame Lillard and Anthony Simmons, like I really feel like they really have no impact. Nurkic just doesn't do it for me. He doesn't really stay that healthy, so I feel like they're gonna take a dip and have him under. They're shitty.
I got you. All right, so coming in next, man, we at 25, man. We got
them getting rid of CJ McCollum was a bad choice.
Yeah, that was bad. They didn't need to do that. If anything, they should have added to that. They needed a wing. That was really the issue. They needed a wing.
They just needed a wing. Exactly.
They needed a wing. Yeah.
And
Carmelo, by the time Carmelo went there, Carmelo was too old by that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So coming in next is the Kings. Next, nah, I'm kidding.
Yeah, please. I don't even know anything about these guys.
So Bleacher Report has the Sacramento Kings winning 37 games and losing 45, right? The over and under is 33.5. Honestly, this is one of those teams that I either have to agree or disagree. I can't really agree or disagree. But one thing I would want to point out to the Kings is that you shouldn't overlook them this year. Now, I don't know if they're going to be a play-in team. They're damn well not going to be a playoff team. I don't see it. Not yet. I got to see it to believe it. Because when was the last time the Kings even made the playoffs? Now I'm thinking about it. But there's one key element that I do want to point out, and it is Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray, man. This rookie, man. I'm sold on this guy. I think this guy is going to be a beast, bro.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a beast, and I'm just leave it at that.
Much like the other teams that we discussed, like the Kings, like Detroit, Magic. It's just like you got to pay attention to the players they have, like certain young guys, like that may make a splash. But in this team, they're just gonna go, like they're just gonna get overlooked.
Yeah, not for sure. You know what I mean? So, next team coming in afterward is the San Antonio Spurs, man. Woo! Not gonna lie, this team has taken such a turnaround. It hasn't been this is not the same Spurs team that we've seen growing up. This is not.
No, they're still under Greg Pop, so this is shocking.
Yeah. No, I mean, but you know what though? For the Spurs, they've made a lot of moves that showed that they weren't trying to be ambitious and chasing a championship. It seems more like Greg Popovich is a lot more content in developing young players and building a young core for the Spurs, right? So they traded away DeJounte Murray, so they gave up some capital, or they've received some capital from the Atlanta Hawks. But with the Bleacher Report and with the Spurs winning 16 games and the over and under being 22.5, honestly, I'm gonna just have to agree with the with the Bleacher Report, man. I don't really got anything to say that they would win over 22 games.
Yeah.
I mean, who's on that team? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even say who's the star player.
Murray,
yeah, you know. So that's it right there. You have anything to add to that?
Hell no, I don't even know any of these guys. I'm looking at them like, no. Oh yeah, this is the team I really wanted to talk about finally.
You know what? I don't even want. All right, so you know what? Let me do my introduction. I'll let you tap in first. So, the Toronto Raptors, right? Bleacher Report has them winning 48 games this year and losing 34. Over and under is 45.5. Cousin, hit me with it. What you got?
6 side. It's the 6 side. Air Drake. Man, this team is one of my sleeper teams, Pat. When I tell you this team, watch out for this team. Did you know that outside of Fred VanVleet and that other kid that won Rookie of the Year,
Scotty Barnes?
Scotty Barnes. They have nobody under 6'7", bro. They have
under 6'7",
but nobody under 6'7", bro. Everybody in that team is a wing or higher, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about skilled. Pascal. They got a lot of guys in that team, bro. A lot of power forwards, a lot of wings, a lot of small forwards. This team is long, bro. They're long and they're young. So I feel like this is going to be one of the teams that's going to make a real big splash. You see Bleacher having reported at 48. And they have no big star on their team, really. Yeah. So that's a big. So I agree with Bleacher Report on that over and under, and I definitely got them above, maybe around 48 games, bro. This team is going to be a playoff team for sure. They're going to be relevant, bro. Trust me. And they're going to have pieces to make a splash to get a star. Mark my word.
No. You know what, though? I think that's a hot take. And honestly, there's not a lot that I can agree on. Don't sleep on this
team to get Kyrie or Kevin Durant, bro. I'm telling you.
You said don't sleep on this team if they do get Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant?
No, I'm saying don't sleep on them. They might be a contender to get one of those players. Like.
Oh, okay. No, I got you.
Like,
yeah, because they're definitely
one of those teams, like.
Yeah, they were definitely one of those teams that was in the name for Kevin Durant.
Yeah, but if they don't hit on Kevin Durant, don't be surprised if they don't make a good offer for Kyrie right after. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got you. Or even try to sign Kyrie.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, on some Kawhi stuff. That's what I'm saying. This team is one of those teams that they're like the new Spurs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just, like, I don't know. It's just something about them. Like, I like the way they run their team right now.
Yeah,
I like
because
what they're doing. Masai
because Masai.
Yeah, he's no joke over there. I like what he's doing. I like the way he conducts himself and he handles his business.
Now you know what, man. I'm not gonna disagree with that, man. I'm gonna just agree
they're a
with
long
you.
Team, bro. Look at them. Look at their roster one day. They got a long team, bro. I'm telling you.
Hey, if you want to bring that up, then why don't you look at the Magic's the Magic's roster? Did you ever see that?
I mean, I took a look at it, but nobody wowed me because it's like the names were unfamiliar to me. But like, the Raptors have
because you don't know who they are.
Like, a lot of more names that you could actually like. You can kind of know who they are. You know what I mean? Like Thaddeus Young. Like they got a lot of dudes. They got a lot of wings, bro. I'm telling you, they got a lot of wings. Like and like we said, we discussed it. Wings are important. And when you have a team full of wings, that they're gonna be switching everything, bro. I'm telling you, watch out for them. Got
you. All right, so coming in next, right at 29 is the Utah Jazz. Wow, it's crazy. So they're 29. They're the 29th team, but they got them winning 29 games.
That's crazy.
The Bleacher Report. That's funny. So Utah Jazz, right? Bleacher Report has them winning 29 games and losing 53. The over and under is 31.5. Honestly, I think that's right around the ballpark. I don't see the Utah Jazz making any type of noise, doing anything this year. At best, this team would be a play-in team. I do love Donovan Mitchell. I love what he brings to the game. But he's going to be a New York Knick, man. If anything.
Yeah, we know he's out of there. So it's like,
he's out of there.
I know I could count them for less than 30 for sure.
Donovan Mitchell is for sure out of there.
Yeah, I don't really. They're under.
Yeah, he's out of there. I don't see him wanting to stay in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, if you traded Rudy Gobert, then what's the point of of Donovan. Like
Yeah,
I
you
get
traded
why
him for a
the
bunch
Jets.
of picks, though. Like what you traded him for, it's not like you traded him for another star that may fit with Donovan Mitchell. You traded him for a bunch of picks and role players, so an expiring contract, I should say.
Yeah. So yeah, this team, I don't honestly agree with Bleacher Report. Under.
Yeah, way under. I think they got him too high too.
All right, so finally, man, last team on this list, the Washington Wizards,
which will be the last seed of the NBA. Funny.
Nah, man. So the Washington Wizards, Bleacher Report has them winning 40 games and losing 42. The over and under is 35.5. Honestly, I'm gonna say this team goes over 35. Honestly, do I got them winning 40 games like Bleacher Report? Might be a little bit too close to call, but you know what? Now that I'm thinking about that roster, because I know that they have Montrezl Harrell, Kyle
they traded
Kuzma.
Montrezl Harrell.
They traded him away.
Yeah, Montrezl not there.
Oh, but they got Kristaps.
Yeah.
So all right, so
I
they
don't
got
think they have Montrezl anymore.
Yeah, but I know so they have Kuzma, Beal, and Kristaps. I mean, I'm not saying
they don't have
team,
KCP either. I don't think either.
Yeah, so I don't see this team doing damage, obviously, but over 35, man. I mean, if I'm gonna say over, I'm saying maybe 37 to 40 games at best.
I say another small market team. They paid their players supermax money, just like they paid Dave Lillard. It's gonna be much of the same thing. They're gonna probably catch a little streak some point in the season, maybe in the beginning, maybe in the end, maybe in the middle. They're gonna get like a nice little 10-game, hot streak. But I don't see them making any type of splash. I gotta go under, maybe around 34, 33 games.
Got you. All right, man. And that was it. So that was we just went over every NBA team win-loss prediction. We just got into it, man. Before we get into the last part of the segment, or even the next part of the show, please.
The last segment of the show.
The last segment. Thank you. Please, for everybody that's tuning in, like and subscribe, man, to the channel, and also hit that notification button so whenever I drop content, you guys can see, one, when I go on live, two, so y'all can join in and give y'all perspective and y'all insight on what's really going on, right?
Man.
Another
let's
thing too,
get some algorithms up, man.
And another thing too, I drop shorts every single day. For those that might not know, I drop shorts every day for y'all, man. Either if it's facts, if it's stats, or even if it's BS, I don't care. But just stay on those shorts, man, because I'm dropping something. I'm dropping heat every single day. Right? Working. I'm here for y'all, man. I'm here for the subscribers. I'm here for you guys. I want to build this. I want to have barbershop talks. I want to copyright barbershop talks. Right? So let's get into it.
I don't know. LeBron already did that. You're too late.
Nah, he tried to copyright Taco Tuesday.
LeBron did it better. LeBron did it first, man. I'll tell you, LeBron did everything, bro.
Nah, he ain't do it first. He ain't do it because they talking political on there. They talking political on there. If I was on there, man, I would have been on there with a do-rag, a cigar. You feel me?
That's what they do. They be having dudes. LeBron had a do-rag on one time, and he had his fucking cigar. What you mean? Man, it's the goal.
Which episode was that?
I don't know.
Nah, see, but no, because I watch all of them, bro. I don't remember that, bro.
Nah, I'm lying, bro.
You feel me? I be watching them episode, bro. I don't remember one episode where he had a cigar.
I tried to sneak that one in there.
The do-rag, you could have convinced me. But the cigar, I'm thinking like, nah, man, this man ain't smoking no cigar on this.
All right, couple liquor.
All right, man. So let's get into it because we're going over 2 hours. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so let's get into the next thing because I don't want to go over 2 hours. Because I can't break the videos up just yet, but stay tuned for that so it can make it a lot easier for you guys to navigate the channel, right? So next one up, right, is NBA. We're gonna be talking about the teams that we think are gonna enter
the playoffs.
The playoffs. right?
So I feel like
So-
I'll go first with the East, then you go with the East. You go first with the West, then I'll go second with the West, and then we just like see what each other thinks. You know what I mean?
Okay. Do you want me to try to bring the teams up so you can at least look at it and then?
Yeah. You could try to do that.
Okay.
But I pretty much have an idea.
All right.
Kind of like put down in my notes on my phone. But I was streaming from the laptop and I had the notes, but my laptop started dying. So if I cut out a little bit, it's only because I'm scrolling down. And I can see my East. So since I'm going first, while you pull up the teams, I can get started so there's no dead air while we're both rolling, right? So
I got you.
So pretty much, basically, my first seed in the East is going to be the Celtics. I feel like coming off the finals, I feel like they're going to make a big splash next season. So they're going to start the season hot if they keep the team as constructed and they make Jaylen Brown feel like he's a part of the team. Let's see here. I think I'll go with the Bucks second, right? So the two teams are maybe 60-win teams, the Bucks and the Celtics. I'll go Bucks second. Then I'll go Philly third, right? Then I'm going to go Miami fourth. Then I'll go, let's see. I'm going to go Toronto 5, Atlanta 6, Chicago 7, and then I'll go. I think I'm gonna do the Knicks last, and the Nets are not gonna make it to the playoffs because they.
You said the Nets aren't gonna make the playoffs?
Nah, because I just feel like like I said, I just have to stick to my word. I really don't feel like that team is gonna be that team. You know what I mean? I feel like there's gonna be some trades, and you know, it's just inevitable. You know?
Yeah, it's just way too close to call. It's like too much in the air for you to even know if that team's gonna even be together.
Exactly, and I feel like the Knicks aren't really going to make the playoffs. I feel like they're going to be another team that's going to be in the play-in, and they're just not going to, you know what I mean, take it all the way.
I got you. Get my little pen. All right. So you said for your East, right? So you said.
Yeah.
So you said Celtics.
The Celtics, the Bucks, right? 76ers. Miami. Then I said Toronto, Atlanta, and then I said Chicago, and who was my 8th seed? Who did I have last just now? Yeah, I forgot who I just had last. Well, whoever I had last. Fuck it. It was,
I think you said the Knicks.
Oh yeah, I said the Knicks. Yeah, the Knicks are gonna be.
You said the Knicks,
yeah.
which is crazy to me.
Yep. I mean, the Knicks still. You gotta understand, they were a playoff team. Like, you know what I mean? Not too long. Like they weren't too bad. They weren't too bad. Not too long.
Like they weren't too down.
You know what I mean?
Like they had a bad year, but
exactly. Like they trended. They were trending upward for like 2 seasons straight before last season. You know what I mean? So before they took that dip. And I feel like it wasn't as major as a dip as everybody think. I feel like Jalen Brunson is a good idea. We got to see what Jalen Brunson is. But once they figure out what they're going to do with Julius Randle, like whether they keep him, trade him, whatever, I feel like they'll have a better idea of what they're looking at.
Okay.
And don't sleep on Derrick Rose, man.
Nah, I hear you.
Still love that guy, man.
I'm getting my teams together.
I always wish the best for my boy Derrick Rose.
Got one more team. You know what? I'm gonna go for a shot in the dark on this one because you tripping with that Knicks pick, bro. I disagree with that one wholeheartedly.
Yeah, no, this is CashSports, man. We all got a mind of our own, but we're gonna let it go.
Here it is, man. This is from 1 to 8. I put it in order, right? So I got Bucks at 1,
good.
right? I said that earlier. Bucks at number 1.
Yeah.
Celtics number 2, second seed. I got the
So pretty similar
76ers.
to mine.
Right, 76ers. Yeah, I switched that. So 76ers is 3.
That's my third
Miami
seed as well, right?
Miami is 4. Yeah, so we're pretty the same up until the 7 and 8 in the first two. So I got Miami after 76ers, Toronto under Miami, which could switch, honestly.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Chicago.
Remember, 4 and 5 are always up in the air anyway.
Yeah. Chicago is 7. And I got the Cleveland Cavaliers as the playing team for next year.
I think that's what I meant to say when I was looking at the teams, but instead of the Knicks,
I got the Cleveland
I took
Cavaliers.
the Knicks. Good choice. No, good choice. Good choice.
Yeah, you were tripping there, cuzzo. We don't allow drugs on this channel.
Well, man, the Knicks. I'm telling you. I mean, look, we both have our opinions. I feel like for the most part, we were pretty much close. So, I ain't that much drugged. I ain't drugged up too much, right?
No, you not.
Yeah.
You still tripping.
I wasn't too far off.
All right, so let me start off with this West one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start off with this West one. All right, so first seed in the West, right? And you know what? The West is always so hard because even the best team out of that conference still might not be the best, the number 1 seed in this conference. So this is really hard to really put together. But you know what? I'm gonna really try my best to get this together. So this is gonna be shocking to you. But remember, this is only seeding. This is not my this is not finals.
No, same thing with mine. Same thing with mine.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So here it is.
Oh,
right?
wait.
So number one, right? I got the Nuggets being the number 1 seed.
And mind you, we're doing it as constructed, like with LeBron. I mean, with what's his name? I keep forgetting his trash name. With Westbrook. With, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I got the Nuggets being the number 1 seed. Right? Reason being is because that year before Jamal Murray went down, the Nuggets were actually I believe the top 2, top 3 seed in the West. Right, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I think they like one thing I won't take away from Jokic is his regular season play, game in and game out. Game in and game out. He plays every single game, bro. And when you're an MVP and you play every single game, hey man, that means something, especially in the regular season. Playoffs, feel me? Different matchups, different intensity. You know what I'm saying? We already know we waiting on Jokic to even pull through with that, but I'll give the Nuggets the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna give them this number 1 seed. So I'm just trying to skim through it. So number 2, right? I got the Warriors. Give them the Warriors this one. I don't see them. At lowest they go this year is number 3. Is a 3rd seed. The 3rd seed. I'm gonna go with the Clippers. I'm gonna go with the Clippers on this one. Let the Clippers be the 3rd seed for the West. 4th seed, right? I'm gonna go with the Lakers. Even though, Russell Westbrook is still on that team, I'm gonna give the Lakers the benefit of the doubt so far because, like we've said earlier, LeBron James and Anthony Davis are still on that team. If Anthony Davis can even have a glimmer of what he used to be, and give me that 30 and 10 AD, man, I'm fiending for it, man. Give me that 30 and 10 season, man. We waiting for it. Give it to us, right? So I got the Lakers at number 4 as the 4th seed heading into the playoffs next year. Now, after the Lakers, right? I'm gonna give it to the Phoenix Suns. Great team, right? Hey, but they're gonna be still headed. They're still gonna be facing a lot of tough competition. Now, everybody might be saying that I gave the Lakers a little bit of free leeway here. You know what I mean? Because some people would have the Suns higher than the Lakers. I don't give a damn. I ain't picking no Lakers over no Suns. I'm picking the Lakers over the Suns. So you know what?
So the same thing twice.
I said it twice. My fault, Dad. Yeah, y'all understood what I ain't picking the Suns over the Lakers. But I'm taking the Lakers over the Suns. I don't care, man. So I got the Lakers over the Suns, and then the Suns would be 5th seed and potentially going against the Lakers in the playoffs, which would be a rematch from 2 years ago, which would be pretty interesting, right? So now the 6th seed. Who do I got as the 6th seed? Oh, you know what? I am tripping. Now, you know what? F it. I already made the list, so I'm going to the next one. Is the Grizzlies. Now, I know you guys are thinking, damn, you know what? I really didn't want to have this team so high, but the Lakers is the only team that's really almost the outlier out of all these teams. You know what I'm saying? So just based off last season alone. So I got to have the Grizzlies up there. I was really high and mighty off the Grizzlies. You know what? So I got to give it to them. Yeah, this list, I'm not going to hold you. This list is looking pretty ridiculous right now. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. It's tough. No, I'm not gonna hold you. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough to put these.
That's why I told you I wanted to do this, bro.
So after the Grizzlies, man, this is a no-brainer because I'm not gonna miss this one out. Even though my seeding is a little bit crazy, I'm not gonna miss this one. Y'all already know what it is. Luka legend, the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks had to be on this list without a doubt. So I got the Mavs as the 7th seed. That's pretty ridiculous. That's pretty crazy. But you know what? It might seem more likely than not. I mean, they did lose Jalen Brunson. Even though they added Christian Wood, we don't know what type of team they're going to be. But we know they're still going to be a playoff team. Now, the argument or the take is whether they're going to be a play-in team or not. That is yet to be seen. But hey, I can't have everybody at number 1. So someone has to sacrifice. Somebody has to give it up. Somebody has to sacrifice, right? So I got the Mavs at 7. So now the last team to make it into the Western Conference playoffs. You know what? I am going to give it to the New Orleans Pelicans, right? Zion will make a playoff appearance this year with the New Orleans Pelicans. Those are my 8 teams to make the playoffs in the West. I'm running down one more time. Nuggets, Warriors, Clippers, Lakers, Suns, Grizzlies, Mavs, and the New Orleans Pelicans.
Okay. I like that. And I know earlier, guys, I had the Pelicans in my playoff race, but I really started thinking about it and analyzing everything. They're going to be a playing team, but in the long run, they're just not going to have enough cohesion, and they just don't have that vet play enough other than Valanciunas to really take them to the next level. So I feel like they're going to be a playing team. So I do not have the Pelicans in my playoff list, so we're already in disagreement. My list is completely different from your botched ass list. I don't know what the fuck. Mine may not be perfect, but I feel like it's in my eyes. Number 1, I have the Warriors. Right? They just won the chip.
Right.
They're gonna the ball's gonna be rolling for them. You know, they have a full healthy team next season. They're champions, young guys with championship DNA, like you said. They're gonna pay Wiggins, they're gonna pay Draymond, they're gonna keep their team intact, right? They're gonna pay whatever it takes. Boom. Number 2, the Clippers. I know, the strippers. Like I said earlier, they're a team that they're deep. They're deep, bro. They can rest their stars, and they still have enough players to get them through the whole season to win games while resting their stars. So they could win 60 games without even having to stretch their players too much. But like I said, in the playoffs, they're just going to drop the ball because they're the who? The fucking strippers. So that's that, right? Number 3. You know I have to give to my boy LeBron. You know LeBron couldn't go out that top 3 seed. So that's one thing we got in common. We're not going to sleep on LeBron. No matter if Westbrook's there or not. I'm just going to be positive and be like, hey, look, Westbrook, worst case scenario, we could fucking bench this guy and we're still going to be a top 3 team in the West. As long as he's not fucking playing, we're good. He could be in the team. He will not be on the floor. So we'll be the 3rd team because we're going to have LeBron and AD, right? So that's my top 3. Number 4, right outside the top 4, you may be surprised with this pick. I'm going to have the Nuggets.
Okay.
Like I said, the Nuggets is
I'm
gonna
not
be
surprised.
a top team, but they're gonna be right in the middle of the things. Like, you know what I mean? Still relevant, still contender, but it's still not gonna make it to the finals, right? So I'm not gonna touch base too much on them. I'm gonna make this quick because I know the show. Well, we're about to wrap it up soon. We're going on 2.5 hours. In the 5th seed, I got Dallas. Dallas is gonna make a push, bro. They have to be in that top 5 seed to be like in the 50 win range. You know what I mean? To go with our predictions, so that way Luka could be an MVP caliber, a finalist. So he has to make it to that 5th seed. So I had to put him at that, and I feel like they can because they filled up a big lead, and Luka's going to take it to the next level. If Luka elevates his game, which he's already an elite player, who knows what's going to happen? You know what I mean? Anything can happen. So I have the 5th, the 6th. I have the Grizzlies. Now, remember I said they're going to take a dip, but they're not going to dip too much. They're going to dip down to the 6th seed. They're still going to be in the playoff. They're still going to be a tough team to beat. I had them around the 6th seed last year when I made my preseason projections on another show I was on. But, you know, they actually ended up finishing better. But they were pretty much the 6th seed throughout the season if you really paid attention to them. But they just made a real good climb towards the end of the season. So I had the Grizzlies at 6. Then the number 7. The Suns. Can't forget about the Suns. You still got to throw them in there.
Yeah.
They still have the same core pieces if you really think about it, you know. Even though he is going to be checked out, they still paid him. So he's locked in. He got his money. He should be fine. You know what I mean? So the players, you know, whether he has disgruntled with the team, I'm sure he has a pretty decent relationship with Devin Booker. And that's all that really matters because they're going to be the 2 core stars, right? So that's that. So I have the Suns at 7. And, you know, they have Monte Morris as a coach. I mean, what's that coach name? Monte. He's good. And last but not least, I have the Timberwolves. Timberwolves made it to the playoffs last season. They got a taste of it. They got better, but they just lost Pat Bev. So they're going to make it to the playoffs. They're going to touch the playoffs, but they're just going to lose to the Warriors, man. They're just not good enough to beat the Warriors. But you know, they're just going to be a tough team to beat, man. Like, you can't sleep on them. You know, they may move up to, like, the 7th seed or so, but I feel like they're just not going to be that good because they're still a young team, even though they added Rudy Gobert. So they don't have that experience. But, hey, I give them the 8th seed over the Pelicans in the play-in.
Okay. All right, so there you have it, man. All right, so let me run down the list for the people watching right now. So Rose Gold, right? He this is his Western Conference playoff prediction teams, right? So he has Warriors, and this is from top to bottom. So it starts with Warriors, Clippers, Lakers, Nuggets, Mavericks, Grizzlies, Suns, and lastly the Timberwolves. So let me break this down, right? So let me make the comparison between my list and your list. Your list, honestly, it's pretty messed up, bro. No, I'm messing with you. But
I know it's not.
Nah, you know what though? I'm looking at your list though, and I'm really looking at it here. Honestly, it's more realistic than mine. I'm gonna be honest there. I like your list is your list is a lot more probable than my list, right? So Warriors. Only reason why I had the Warriors not winning the first seed is because even though I do agree that the Warriors are going to have one hell of a hot start. Hold on.
Bro, they're gonna have a ring ceremony. It's over. They're gonna start hot, bro. They kind of lost their identity post Kevin Durant because it was like, oh damn, down, and then Steph Curry missed that whole season. So it was, and then Clay, you know what I mean? So it was a lot that they dealt with as an organization for them. But they're done with all that. They survived the Kevin Durant departure. They won. You know what I mean? So that was like they got that chip off their shoulder. They're good now. You know what I mean? They could be back to being the dynasty team that we know they are.
No, for sure. But the angle where I was going was where it's not the fact that I don't think that they're going to have a hot start. It's just the fact that I think that they're not going to prioritize, right? They're not going to prioritize getting that first seed, which is kind of what I predicted. So I think that the Warriors, they probably might be a little bit lax near the end of the season. I think once they kind of solidified their seeding. Like I think they'll definitely be top 3, top 4 in the seeding. And then once that comes around, I think they're just gonna really just bet on themselves and then just head into the playoffs. Depending on they'll try to get the best seeding.
Losing 73-9 to LeBron. I get what you're trying to say. Don't focus on the
So I definitely agree with your Mavs pick. When I was going down the list, I did low-key forget about the Mavs, which is why I had to put them in at 7. I didn't want to have them at 8 because that would have been crazy. But even 7, even 7 is
you would have to burn your list right away.
Yeah, exactly. So Mavericks. So I do agree more with what you said with the Dallas Mavericks being 5 because Luka is set to or at least be an MVP candidate this year. So for him to even be, and I agree with that, for him to even be a candidate, he would have to be top 5 top 5 in the seeding. I mean, last year we've seen Jokic be the 6th.
You see how I took everything into account, right? I took everything into account. I also remembered my takes from like the projections, like the over-unders. Like you have to take all that into consideration when making these type of lists because you don't want to go back on your own word. You get what I'm saying? And then again, you don't want to kind of make a list out of being a fan. But my fandom was kind of putting LeBron at 3, and putting the Lakers at 3 kind of messes up everything below it. Because they didn't even make the fucking playoffs last year. So like you're trying to put them not only in the playoffs, but you're trying to put them so high. So it kind of like it botches everything else after that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, because which team did you the Pelicans was in there, but they're not in there for you.
No, in your team?
No, yours. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, because the Pelicans are the team that made it last year, and then they're not on it for you this year.
Exactly.
So I see where it connects. And then Nuggets. Honestly, I'm not really gonna dispute that. Only reason why I had the Nuggets really that high is because, like I said, based off what I said earlier, they could just have like one of those seasons where they can have a really good regular season. But it doesn't surprise me. I think the Nuggets falling between 1 and 4 is kind of, in the ballpark of where they should be. Honestly, them being
I think a lot of teams are going to try using the approach of not worrying about the regular season and worrying about staying healthy. I think a lot of contending teams, that's like their primary thing, like the Heat, the Bulls, the Lakers, the Bucks, the Warriors. Even Denver, like they're all thinking the same thing. They're all taking the same approach. We all have what it takes to win, but we just got to get some chemistry and some cohesion going. And with that, you got to stay healthy and be on the floor. You know what I mean?
Agree. No, for sure. Dallas, I think we spoke on Dallas. Grizzlies. So hold on, I got the Grizzlies at 1. And then we got the Grizzlies in the same spot. It's 6. So
okay.
Yeah, so
we agree on something.
Yeah, so not really much to really dispute there, honestly. I mean, the Grizzlies, they could go higher. They could be higher. But I think as of right now, I mean, there's nothing really to disagree there.
That loss to Jaren Jackson is gonna hurt him, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's their defense right there. And then and then you got the Suns at 7. That's a very big downfall. Like, for the Suns to be number 7 after being the number 1 seed.
Hey, we gotta swap LeBron with somebody, man. Somebody got a dip, bro. Somebody's gonna out of any team you made, putting Lakers up, because remember, we both put Lakers high, we both put the Warriors high. In order for us to put both those teams high, 2 teams are gonna have to take a dip, no matter what. You get what I'm saying? So 2 high teams were gonna have to take a dip because we had 2 pretty low seeded teams pretty much at the top of the chart. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like it was. That's kind of what made that look like that. But hey, look, I'm not gonna sleep on the Warriors. I'm the Lakers and the Clippers. I had to put them number 2, man, because they're just so fucking deep, bro. They have enough talent to just, make it throughout the season.
Nah, I agree for sure. And then obviously you got the Timberwolves being the 8th seed. I don't honestly, for me, Cuzzo, I do not see the Timberwolves beating out the Pelicans, just in my opinion, man.
You don't think the Timberwolves are a better team than the Pelicans?
If the Pelicans are healthy, right? Let's just say I'm just throwing the theory out there, right?
You could really put a question mark on that.
No. You're right. It could go one or the other. It's not that I'm saying that it's undisputable. Right? You're breaking up a little bit. You're gonna have to get a little bit closer.
Hold on. It's hard time. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. We know the Timberwolves got much better adding Rudy Gobert. We don't know how much better the Pelicans got by getting Zion back. And we know Zion's great and all, but like, does that make the team really that much better as far as like being a contender in the West compared to Rudy Gobert? Like someone who's an all-time NBA, like, you know what I mean? All NBA player, defensive player of the year multiple times. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But, you know, that's why they're in the bottom. You know what I mean? Like, the Pelicans, I definitely got them in the play-in. And then the Timberwolves will be in the play-in, obviously, because 7 through 8 is the play-in. So, you know, they're all still playing teams. So, just like the 4th and 5th seed, the play-in from 7 till, like, 10 is basically wide open, too, just like the 4th and 5th. You know what I mean? Like, each team could land anywhere. But you get what I'm trying to say?
Well, I disagree. I think the Pelicans beat them out. I think Zion dunks on Rudy Gobert. I think he ball bags that boy.
Nah, he does. He does dunk on Rudy Gobert. But then you'll have a player like Anthony Edwards that's just gonna go off for like 40 points, bro.
But then what about Ingram? I mean, because you have Zion.
Can you trust Ingram to get 40 points consistently?
I don't see it any different than Anthony Edwards, to be honest with you.
I do.
I think they're in the same ballpark.
Nah, I don't, bro. Because you got to remember, Anthony Edwards is much younger, bro. And he showed me more than Brandon Ingram in his short stint. And he's only getting better, bro. That dude is cold, bro.
No. I agree. Anthony Edwards is a dog.
I think he's going to be better than Ingram.
I just don't think this year. I think that's kind of where we defer.
Ingram
I just
has
don't
a
think
start on him career-wise, so that's why Ingram's a better player, clearly. But Anthony Edwards is going to be a better player than Brandon Ingram, in my opinion.
Okay. No, I got you there. Definitely got you there. So, all right, man. That
Ingram
was
averaged like 7 points his first year. Edwards averaged like 18, bro.
Nah, you got that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like dog came into the league dogging, like not scared or nothing. Like I'm talking about
because he could have potentially won Rookie of the Year.
You see those games where they played the Lakers, bro? He was fucking them up, bro.
Yeah.
He is a little boy. Carl-Anthony Towns was cooking AD in them boys, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
All right, man. Hey, Cuz you got anything more you want to add before I get into my little end of the show spiel?
Hey, that man. I'm not talking about LeBron James. I'm talking about CashSports, man. Hit the Cash App. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification, man. Show some love, bro. Let's get in the algorithms, man. We're trying to put Pat with the Lakers Nations, the Fox Sports. We're trying to go global. We're trying to be big. So the only way to do that is start with you guys, man. Like, we're gonna bring nothing but great content. We're gonna work. If you enjoy this shit, man, just show love, man, so we can get bigger and bigger and be a part of it, man. Hit the link, man. Click the link. Join the panel. You know, everybody's opinion is welcome, man. You know, this is Pat's show, but you know, he's very open to hearing people's opinions and letting people get their takes off, and you know, having a great conversation with regarding sports, not even just basketball. So come on, man, hit the Cash App, bro. Show love.
Nah, for real. I can't even say it better myself. So for those that's streaming, watching,
it's free.
Staying tuned. Nah, that's right. It is free. You don't gotta donate to be on here, man. Even though at some point I'd like to hit up that Patreon. start paying these cats for comments.
Not for real.
That's for real. But on a real note though, if you guys are staying tuned, man, you guys are watching this video, man, please like and subscribe. I can't say it anymore. Like and subscribe to Cash Sports Podcast, man. And I know y'all see that Cash App at the bottom. Once again, it is optional, but I would graciously appreciate any donations, because any of it would be back to you guys because this is what I'm about. This is what Cash Sports is about. We sit here and we talk sports. It's only going to get bigger and better from here, right? So you guys stay tuned. You guys saw our takes on, LeBron signing a contract extension. We even got into the NBA's win-loss team predictions, and we even got into the additional highlights into this upcoming NBA season with rivalry week. Right?
We touched base on a lot, man. We did a lot today.
No, we did. This is
gonna
one
go
of
down
the
as
longest.
one of the videos. We're gonna have to go back at the video in the end of the season.
I gotta chop it up. One day
we got to see who's right in these picks, like who's closest too. So we're gonna be back touching base on this. For sure.
I know my Western Conference win is probably wrong as hell though.
Oh man, is it? Is it? I'm gonna be way closer than you. The East, we might be a little similar.
Yeah, I definitely have a better chance.
The West, you botched that one like a bad surgery.
Yeah. Man said Nuggets. I said the Nuggets the first one.
That was a bad nose job, bro. You fucked the picks up with that one. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I got the Mavericks at 7.
Ooh.
Yeah,
What do you have the Lakers again? What did you put the Lakers real quick before
I
we get out of
had,
here?
I had them below the Clippers, so I had them at 4.
Okay, reasonable.
Yeah, I had them at 4. I think that was probably Warriors, Clippers, and Lakers are probably the most reasonable. I could have, and
All right,
probably
so
the Grizzlies
give me
too.
the East one more time.
Bucks, Celtics, 76ers, Miami, Toronto, Chicago, and Cavs.
Yeah, yours is kind of like mine, so we're pretty similar on that. We're pretty much identical on that one.
Yeah.
We're definitely in the same page on that one. But your West is that shit look like some fan shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey man, that's just a hot take. I'm just trying to,
Nah, that's a super hot take. I like it. I like it. Yeah, CashSports, man. But I'm out of here, man. I'm cold tonight. I ate dinner. I'm about to smoke my last split for the night. I'm going to bed. It's
Man,
only
nah,
it's
same
10
here,
o'clock
man.
Eastern time,
I'm-
and I'm out.
Peace. All right, man. So there you have it. This concludes another live stream episode of Cash Sports. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys tuned in. I really enjoy doing this. I enjoy sitting here and talking to you guys. And once again, I don't have to sit here and keep talking to you guys from my room and just keep yammering on. If you guys want to get something off your chest, you guys want to, state your opinions, your facts, anything. You guys want to debate anything. You guys want to talk about anything in regards to the topic, basketball, football. Football is coming up. So we're going to get deep into football. I already got into it. And remember, we're Cash Sports. So in Cash Sports, we also put out sports betting odds. I already got basketball out there. I even got some football out there too. So if you stay tuned, you go back into the channel, you'll see that I got some NBA betting odds and I got some NFL betting odds. Right? So you guys can tune into that. And there's also the link in the description box, just in case if you guys don't want to watch the whole video, you guys can go straight to the website to see the most recent betting odds from Caesars Sportsbooks. Right? So thank you. So like I said, thank you all for tuning in. I'm very humble to sit here and talk to you guys today. So this concludes another video of Cash Sports. Thank you all for tuning in and have a wonderful time.